Hey, we are back with more Pillars of Eternity 2. Making some good progress in this dungeon, even though it's above our level, mostly because Aloth has some kick-ass ice
Leave it to me.
spells, and I got a new upgrade for the hero that lets me get a pretty strong alpha strike in when we first initiate combat. I'm going to go ahead and loot from the combat we were just doing. Keep progressing here as far as we can in the main story before we get blocked, and then we'll look for side quests. Pillars Day is a good day. Pillars 1, I don't know how to describe this without sounding like I'm disparaging it. I thought Pillars 1 was a really good game, but it was difficult for me to stream. Like I would not look forward to Pillars days, and I'd be kind of watching the clock, and time would move really slowly, just because of the way the core gameplay loop worked and having to appraise loot and that sort of a thing. It's really wild how this is the same dev and the same story and universe, but like everything being voice acted and turn-based combat, like time seems like it moves a lot more quickly for me playing Pillars 2 than the first one. I imagine that that's different for different folks, that there are people that got the, oh my god, time is just blowing past playing Pillars 1. They're more into that real-time style, and the burden of having to pause to look at loot didn't get in the way as much. I guess this is a dead end. We just got the key. Okay. A lot of that just has to do with streamability. I think that when I played Pillars 1, I was a lot more worried about reading all text aloud, and it's not really one of my strong suits as a streamer. I read much faster than I can speak, so I tend to stumble over my words and slurs, so having to read out loud stresses me out. Everything takes longer than you'd think it will. Yeah, that's definitely true. Just like an actual tabletop RPG in that respect.
Hey. Yes?
Let's go ahead and start free casting. Ice ball. Hopefully it doesn't move out of the way. It totally moved out of the way. Shit.
Wait.
How does it interact with combat, though? I guess it didn't count as a cast? The exact same thing happened.
Oh?
You can just do this indefinitely, I guess. Let me make sure it's close enough there.
Sure. Captain. Yeah. My pleasure.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Enemies in the back, okay. It's a really good question about the noise thing.
I can do.
Flanked. Kaboom! That was pretty great. Oh, it's because of his second hit. Wow.
Yes?
Way more enemies here than I thought there were. This might have been a mistake. I guess we'll see what happens here in a second. Duel's even better in turn base. It's already pretty good in the real-time mode, right? Oh, sure. Makes sense. Finishing blow. I'm not sure if it counts as full attack. I'll check after this.
Yes?
It's a bummer that uses up my whole turn.
Yeah.
Seems bad. I don't know when that goes off. Shining Beacon, burn damage is not going to help with these assholes. Jeez, Aloth.
Captain.
Let me try to heal him real quick. I think that's his whole turn? Yeah, okay. I just need him to finish his cast.
Smart, Stony.
Wonderful. Hey, thanks, Ostentatious. Appreciate that. There's a heck of a lot of dudes.
How may I help?
I might have, yeah.
How may I help?
It's gonna go after they all act. But I guess if I can hold them in the same general area, it still should be decent. Hopefully. Wait, did I get blocked by something? There we go.
Right here.
Okay, I can see the yellow, where that's gonna come in.
Absolutely.
People don't get ostentatious right? Yikes. Thanks again, appreciate it. Let's see. Alright.
Something I can do?
Let's knock this guy down. Try to hold this location, I guess. Ostentatious monk. Right. Try shooting them. I'm trying to think if I want to keep using mind blades. I think they're resistant to bludgeoning damage or slashing damage, whatever it is. I don't think I have enough to do one of the. Yeah, I'll just try to shoot them here.
I'll be chopping you to chum.
It's a great line. Chopping you to chum. I think they're all going to get hit by the ice ball.
That's it.
Yeah, Serpa's just making a joke. Alright, let's see. Do I want to do that again? Oh, that's right, I can only do it once per combat. I guess that's fair. Let's see. Slicken. Minor blights. That doesn't seem super great. Probably should have used the power surge. That could have been good. But usually the combat's over by this point. I think I can use the death ray actually. Raw damage targets fortitude, only enemies.
That looks complicated.
I want that to target a further enemy if I can. Right. So it hits all enemies in the radius of it. Do I still have that effect? Okay, so there's no reason for me to activate that twice. I could try to do Crushing Blow if I can kill one of them, but I don't think I can.
Of course.
Pretty good.
Happy to
Yes. Let's see. She still has Lightning Strikes activated. Hasn't built up anything else yet. Try using Blessed Harvest. And thanks for the follow. Blow this guy. Huh. So it said no pen when I tried to use Blessed Harvest on the Flame Caller. I don't think I've seen that error message before. I've actually never had that spell fail. What does that
I
mean?
can do.
Something to do with penetration stat?
This thing isn't doing the job.
Standard. It doesn't say full attack, it just says standard.
Captain.
Right, now I can cast the same spells. Oops. Penetration of that ability is less than the enemy's armor rating for it. I see. In that case, it just did nothing. Maybe that's an effect of an attack like Blessed Harvest. Appreciate it again, Ostentatious. Thank you. I thought it hit for 0. Let me check. Shoti cast Blessed Harvest. Crits. But then it did no damage. At least I don't see any damage in them, unless I'm blind here. It would have done 126 damage if I'm reading that right. Well, my spell got cancelled because the enemy died. First world problems, I guess. Shouldn't be able to reduce damage to 0. The enemy's still alive, so that's surprising too. Might be able to do this. I'm gonna change that ability later though.
Happy to oblige.
Death Ray's causing too much death. Here, I'll try it again. At that time it just straight up missed, which I didn't even realize was possible. Okay. Now I know.
Be blowing a man down.
Beautiful.
Hey there.
I feel like that knocked him down just from like sheer damage dealt. Body blows, lowers target's fortitude. Okay.
Absolutely.
And I think we established that weapons almost universally target deflection, and it's like spells that would target fortitude.
That's not very helpful.
Kill this guy before he goes here. Oh god. Well, we're gonna get hit by Arc of Flame. Try to get out of the way at least.
Can't make a dent.
There we go. But there aren't any weapons that target a defense like reflex or fortitude or will, right? That's it's always a spell or an ability thing.
What for, Captain? takes a finger to blow her away.
Gotcha.
Yes?
Aloth, buddy. Keep punching this guy to death.
Show him how it's done.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the power of like ice damage.
Blessings be upon you.
Yeah?
These enemies are all 3 levels higher than me, and I'm handling it okay. It's not time to use that. Just it's not coming out again.
What for, Cap?
Let's see. This was Ringleader, Dominate, and Charm AoE. Not super great. Stunning a target and dealing raw damage. 14 to 24 raw damage. I meant to pick up a single target damage effect earlier. That's really frustrating, Leon. I didn't know that was a thing at all. This is one way of doing direct damage until I pick up that level 1 ability. Or, you know, shoot him with a bow was also fine. But it missed.
Right here. Of course. Oh?
Hooray! That went pretty well. Some weapons have a special effect in addition to their main hit that might target a defense other than deflection. Okay, thank you. So many gems. Fireless in death, this warrior's body is being ceremoniously prepared. Often, I feel like I read the word unceremonious more often than actually ceremonious. Okay, that's another way to get the Ashen Key. Got it. I think... Did I get any XP for killing those guys? Nope. I guess I got access to these rooms and the loot contained therein. Must have maxed out their bestiary already. I think I did that earlier this episode though, so... One of the first of those giants that I killed in that combat. Progress. Just make sure I've explored everything else down here. I think we're good.
I'll take a peek.
Supposing this volcano blows, what are the odds any of us but Gone survives it?
We should move quickly.
Curious what their next iteration's going to be on it. I think what they're going for is we don't want to give more XP for killing enemies in case you can find a peaceful way around them, which I definitely applaud. But it puts you in a weird situation sometimes where it's like, now I actively don't want to participate in combat because I've already maxed out the bestiary entry for this. Guessing this person has dialogue if I go up to them, so I could do an alpha strike. But let me find out what their dialogue is for meeting them head on first.
The Brenthis tarries for too long, yet only she is fit to fire the shrine.
Turn it up a
Go
little
and
bit.
ensure that she returns readily with the ancients.
It would be my honor, Bathor.
Return in victory, Rekir.
Hey, we killed all your people. You want to be friends?
Yes, Bathor.
You really should put the NPCs that are amenable to diplomacy at the front of the dungeon.
And remember,
His shoulders stiffen.
you are a bold one to attack us in our own seat of power. I hope you are prepared to die here, for I will soon prostrate you on the altar of Margaret and burn you for her glory.
Foot of a warlord. I have no quarrel with you. I'm here to speak to Aethys.
Aethys deserves death, not words. The Defiler God has brought war to Ashen Moor in revenge against Margaret and her Athun.
Fire sweat dripping down his back. You can't just append the word fire to everything. Fire blood.
What is your relation to Aethys, if not to act with him against Margaret?
The earth wills I intervene with Aethys. Arath wills. Maybe they're not going to believe that.
Mere Kith are seldom agents of such a powerful deity. If you have no plans to defend the Defiler God, then we've no quarrel with you, Kith.
We'll overlook the fact that you murdered everyone in our town.
To assault Scyorielaphas at the base of the mall. The shrine will lower us to the sacred Ardra pillar, where the embodied god now gluts himself.
Let me through. Aethys will listen to me and leave. Trust me, we go way back. Let me through. I'll speak with Aethys and convince him to leave this place.
Even if I believed you, I cannot do such a thing. We guard the sacred depths of the mall. None may freely enter. Thus the shrine lies dormant, locked without the torque of Bethacton.
Torque of Bethacton? I have that! Pulled it out of a dragon's butt. No, technically it was still being held by Ghost Priestess.
The Brenthis is the torque's rightful bearer, but she has yet to return to the keep.
Oh, dear Brenthis, she's dead.
Then it is as I feared, and as I felt. Her flames have been extinguished. I do not share the Brenthis' ability to commune with Margaret, but I must believe the goddess would will us to fight. We must make a final stand.
I have the torque.
To return in victory from the lair of the ancients.
I already did that before I met you.
You are one of a kind among Kith. What became of the ancient? Jordafellas?
I intimidated it.
Impossible without her.
The giant. Or the dragon.
What makes you think something happened to her?
Whatever gave you people the idea that dragon would let you ride her?
The warlord tilts his head as if considering the true meaning to your companion's reaction.
You will answer me, Kith, without trickery or lies.
The dragon has forsaken you.
Indeed. I feared the worst when the Brenthis failed to return with the beast. We've no choice, despite the odds.
Didn't kill it though, it's still alive, does that matter?
If this is to be our last stand, we must prepare ourselves, either for victory or for sacrifice. Lest Margaret forsake us for our failures.
You could just go let me talk to him. It's fine, we're buddies. You know, last time I talked to him, he killed all the ocean life for several hundred miles, so it'll be fine.
You have earned the right to fire
several dozens of miles.
The talk of the Ever Flame, but we cannot join you as yet in facing the Defiler.
Alright. It's cool.
I can see the fury burning in her eyes. What a hateful goddess.
Oh, Mogren. So rude. The span of a single breath, everything falls eerily silent. The Rune behind you fade away. Metal groans as Mogren's statue bends her head to you in greeting.
Watcher, the time does not allow for niceties.
Okay. Her words flow like lava from her lips.
Even now, Aethys gains strength from the spire. What progress have you to report?
I mean, presumably she listened to them here. They just said their plans right in front of her, but maybe she's like not always hanging out in that statue and it's only because I showed up.
Then they will burn to ash.
Her fire
and
words.
return to the mud kiln from whence they came.
She tucks her sword free. The entire shrine shudders with heat.
Presently, I shall erupt this volcano, and with it, consume Aethys. I suggest you retreat if you at all value your mortal form.
If I were fire godlike, I could do a thing. Do you not care about the Rathun at all?
I formed the Rathun to serve, to ward against Kith in order to safeguard Ukaizo. Now they have served me.
I don't think I understood that the manufactured gods themselves created races. But I guess that the Rathun don't count as Kith. Does it really mean anything to be a Kith? Does it confer any privileges, or is it really just like beast tribes versus playable races?
Their sacrifice is not without honor, as yours too will be. Fare thee on, Watcher. My condolences, should you die.
Great. Interact with the shrine. Bloodied and battle-ready, the goddess clutches both sword and shield. At the base of the statue, a rectangular iron-slatted altar rests between two unlit braziers. Oh, only the Kith are allowed to reincarnate? I think I missed that. Examine the altar. It's been hammered silver water smooth. Not fire silver water smooth. There are burnt remains of prior offerings to the goddess. Place the torque on the altar. The statue herself seems to wake, metal groaning, rasping as the shrine moves. No, they're just like gonna call me, move out of the way now. It's fair. Hey, thanks the same. Them points. I'm gonna leave for now, I guess. Magrin plans to erupt the maw to destroy Aethys. She'll die if you stay here.
If that is the goddess's ever-burning will, we Rathun will abide it.
Religion 5, Metaphysics 5, which I'm mostly getting from Party Assist, yeah. Among us, only I can hear her. How do you know Magrin's will is for you to stay and fight? Your souls aren't bound to Magrin's will. You're free to choose your own fate.
Could her will be for us to flee like cowards? We are Margaren's creatures, formed from her flames.
I wish I had more points in these.
Greatness.
Sure, I can't change your mind.
I am. Now, descend on the fires of the shrine and meet your fate, Kith. Kith.
I'd love to save these particular 5 after killing the rest of them.
To die for Margren is the greatest honor. We live only to protect the goddess and to serve her will, Kith.
Just want to see if the metaphysics results in the same thing or not. Yeah, so you really got to put your diplomacy NPC at the front of your dungeon. You can't have me killing 100 Nagas or whatever, Sahagins, and then meet the one that you can talk out of it. Kith. Inform the men.
If that is the goddess's ever-burning will, we Rathun will.
Let's try the metaphysics answer. Your souls aren't bound to Magrin's will.
What are our souls if not the sparks from Margren's flint? Our choice is not whether to serve the goddess, but how. We are Margren's creatures.
Okay, it's same
formed from
results.
her flames. We exist only to further her greatness.
Resolve 18.
I am now.
Curious. My resolve is 10. Okay, we're not changing their mind there.
Be right there.
Let's go. Squeal of metal against metal, the entire floor drops a stomach-lurching 5 feet. Chains clang with the toll of the bell. That's cool. As the shrine cranks lower into the maw, Aethys' colossal Audra-carved dome, neck, and shoulders slowly emerge into view. God rises up like a mountain. Energy vibrates from his massive body. Cacophony of mutterings and shouts from the souls whirling within it slams into you, knocking you from your feet. Nearly knocking you from your feet. I think the loading logo, is that like the symbol of Nekataka or the Deadfire company or something with the Aethys stars underneath it? Nice, Ravanon. You enjoying it so far? Whoa. Pretty cool.
You're certain he wanted us all to come?
Have you ever seen anything so awe-inspiring? Behold the power of my god.
It's a pretty awesome set piece, I gotta be honest. Dr. Manhattan.
Watcher, I wasn't sure you'd make it. But there is enough of you in me to grasp that you had a better chance than most. Some would say it's because you have a strong soul. Great deeds come easily to one so spiritually blessed. Or have you become great because of what has been thrust upon you? Watcher of Cadnua, Herald of Berith, Hound of Aethys.
Oh my god. You're really...
Actually works as an oath.
This can't...
I see you, Shodi. I am glad that we could meet, even if it is under quite unpleasant circumstances.
See, I feel like this is where Obsidian really shines. This is a space where a lot of other devs would fuck up, and they would, like, not comment on the fact that you have a priest of a god in your party as you meet that god person, right? It's super frustrating when that happens in games. They've got someone on the team that's asking those questions. Like, maybe Aethys should have some custom dialogue in case Shoti's with you.
This is really happening, right? Gone. Your humble priestess is before you. Please, tell me what you require of me. How do I save more lost souls than I can carry in one lifetime?
Now's not the time,
Face
Shoti.
bright red, sweat
Oh,
beading
shit.
her brow. Shoti stumbles precariously closer to the edge. Lantern rattling,
Voice
she
acted narration.
catches herself. A mere moment before she would have toppled over.
I know that you have undertaken a noble mission, but I will tell you what I told the Watcher. You need not fear for the lost souls of this world. As for you, Watcher, why is it you believe you have made it this far?
Whatever the reason, I'm still standing. Greatness is my birthright. We each do the best we can. I've had enough of this. I followed you into this damn volcano to get some questions answered. Good fortune and good people have carried me the whole way. I'd be nothing without them. I like each of us does the best we can.
You have done much in this life, it's true. But if it weren't for your past with Theos, with Iovara, you never would have come down this path.
It's true. Pillars 1.
But you have come a great distance for answers. What would you ask of me, Watcher?
That we have. And I got a request. Down here. God, look how full my lantern is. I've been harvesting day and night for you, my god.
Lantern rattling, sickle gripped so tight her knuckles are white. She waves her arms over her head as she shouts.
Did you just hear him say, whatever, don't care about souls, it's fine?
My dear Shodi, I do not mean to diminish your presence here. But this is a question that the Watcher needs to answer. He alone was tasked with pursuing me. The gods have placed him in this fire. It is only right that we speak together now.
Need to know why you've come back.
You need to know? Or Berith? Or the gods?
After all you've done, I think every creature that lives and breathes on Aora needs to know.
And it would seem even she whose presence shakes the heart of this mountain needs to know.
I wouldn't know. Lie, I wouldn't know. Mogren is prepared to take drastic measures to stop you.
Margren fears what I will do, just as she feared what I would do in the Deerwood. But this time, there is no power on Aora or in all of hell to stop me. Understand that what I'm saying is neither a boast nor a challenge. It is the clearest statement of truth I can give you. Give Berith, in the hopes of dissuading you from taking actions that may harm others.
Aethys, both you and Theos have most of the letters of the name Thanos in your name, but... I don't know what to see. Says the one who's killed thousands walking from the Deerwood to Deadfire. What are you going to do?
Force gods and mortals alike to open their eyes to one another. It seems my sister does not like the sound of that.
Can you be more specific? What are you trying to do?
I want to return the gods to our original purpose, and to allow mortals to worship us, or ignore us, for what we are, not what we pretend to be.
You gonna kill all the gods? That's pretty cool.
Shodi gasps sharply, for once too stunned to blurt out a response. Her eyes are wild, with too much white showing, when she glances from Aethys to you.
What's that mean? You're gonna tell them the truth?
Adair looks away from Aethys for the moment, his eyes darting back and forth, as if between possible outcomes.
Just sort of the premise of my D&D campaign setting, that the gods are false, that they're actually it's like an ancient astronauts type situation. So whenever I start with a new group of players, the first adventure typically culminates with them having the opportunity to like broadcast that to all of civilization or keep it to themselves.
When I entered Widewin, I did so with the intention of illuminating the history of Anguith. I wanted to show all the nations of the Eastern Reach the machines we had used to create ourselves, how we had hidden our true nature from mortals for millennia. But even if I had succeeded, my words would have been easy to deny. Belief creates the foundation upon which a mind's reality is built. Some minds can never let go of that foundation. They would rather hold tight to the world in their mind than accept what they're being told.
And then your words could be corrupted by the leaden key in hand occult. What are you doing this time that won't make any difference? Let's do, why is it so important that mortals know the gods came from the Anguithans?
We began with a dream that if we provided guidance to mortals, each generation of souls would grow stronger. And if the souls grew stronger, societies would become better, moving ever closer to achieving the potential we believed all mortals have within them. Over 2,000 years have passed. Hundreds of generations have been born, lived, and died. If the world has improved under our guidance, mortals should be prepared to understand the truth. If they have not improved after all of this time, then we have utterly failed in our aims, and there should be a reckoning of our faults. The time has come for a new covenant between gods and mortals. One forged in the light of truth and understanding between our kind. I will leave this place and go to the lost city the Huana call Ukaizo.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
It is there that all souls pass through the machines of the gods, where all souls pass into the beyond before beginning their next life.
That doesn't make Magrin happy.
When I reach that place, I will find our
Hey,
great
he is going to
machines
end
and tear
reincarnation.
them
They did a
to
good job of
pieces.
building that up.
I will smash the great
Land
wheel
bullshit
until the
invisible
lights
blocks.
of hell all
Ukaizo.
gutter and die.
Frame perfect jumps.
And when my work is done, I will leave this world forever.
Where's that leave us? You're ending the rule of the gods?
No, Adair. It is not for me to decide if the gods should remain in power. That will be for your kind, for mortals to decide.
What? Let's see. Guess that's one way to get a response.
I'm surprised Magrin is reacting this way. I would have thought she would appreciate a trial of this magnitude.
Yeah, I choose to roleplay
One
my
that
character as
tests
Hank
us
Hill.
all.
He says, what?
Both gods and mortals alike rely on the wheel. We depend on it for the souls that give us power. Mortals depend on it for the lives of future generations.
Okay, so help me to keep track of this
Breaking it will
setting.
force all of us to face the truth.
There's soul entropy, right? Whenever souls re-enter the wheel, some amount is lost. Is that amount lost? Is that what's fueling the gods, or how do gods harvest soul energy? It's not like petitioners and vanilla D&D, right?
We will fail together or move forward together. Either ending is preferable to the cycle we still find ourselves in.
Go do that. I'm on, I don't know. I'm on Team Aethys. I mean,
Dawn, wait! Before it's too late, you gotta take the souls I harvested for you.
that make me a mass murderer? Am I like someone that's on Team Thanos?
As if waiting for Aethys to take it from her.
Shoti, I feel really bad for Shoti.
They are not for me to take. Shoti, you are their guardian now. You are their protector. You have taken responsibility.
The entropy is basically the
and only
gods
you
tapping
can
into
decide
it.
their fate.
That makes sense.
Once again, the gods have put you in a precarious position, Watcher. Considering all the troubles I have put you through, the least I can do is protect you from the wrath Margren has intended for me.
Praise Aethys, what an amazing gesture. Say nothing.
I must say, you've been remarkably calm in spite of all this. This next part may test you. Brace yourself, Watcher.
Guys and gals, we are literally being touched by the hand of God right now.
Despite herself, Shodi squeals. Trembling, she sways on her feet as if she might faint.
I wonder if they originally intended to have all of the great text in the game be narrated, and then ended up being too expensive or too long of a project or something. Pillars 3, I don't have to read anything out loud.
You better be sure of what you're doing, Aethys. You better be making things right. Because either way, we're the ones paying the cost.
Actually listening to a non-fiction book right now on Audible, and like some of the people that are really, really good at reading orally, the people that like narrate audiobooks, it took me about 20 minutes before I was certain that it wasn't being narrated by a like a Siri, AI voice. She just had her inflections perfect, where it sounded almost exactly the same in every sentence. I'm like, they just do the laziest thing possible and have this read through text-to-speech or something? Like, no, okay, it's an actual...
All that I have done,
I guess you call it a voice actress?
Sake. If we do not meet again, Adair, please take care of the Watcher.
Yay, and custom Ader dialogue.
Aethys's great hand.
What do you do when
floats
God
away from
pronounces
the
your
luminous
name
altar
wrong?
pillar. As it
It's
pulls
Ader,
back,
but,
For a brief moment, you see a golden tether flash into existence between the pillar and the great Titan's back. When the Audra fingers gently cradle you, there is first a sensation of warmth, but it is followed by a harsh splitting of consciousness. Your awareness vacillates erratically between the physical world and the spiritual dimension of Aethys's body.
Could have gotten away with you talking to Dr. Manhattan in one of these, like, DM narration fallouts. Just like a fixed piece of static art, but I'm glad that they went to the effort of actually, like, rendering him as this giant 3D thing that you see as you walk around the dungeon. It's worth it. If you say Arthas.
Your soul glides amid the many trapped with Aethys. As your brilliant form passes by them, they call and reach out for help. Below Aethys's body, the volcano erupts. Molten rock rushes over the great Audra body, but does not slow its movement. Rathun rush to higher ground, but cannot outpace the lava, which overwhelms and consumes them as it rises. Your attention returns to the heart of Aethys's body. Deep within the whirling masses of souls, you again sense your own presence, the fragment that was taken from you. This time, you reach out to it as it reaches out to you. You meet somewhere in the great mass of Audra, the rest of the souls fading at the edge of your awareness.
That's spooky.
We are together again. Are you ready to be together again?
Yeah, give me my soul back. Say nothing.
Since we've parted, you've become someone else. I have become
Whatever.
myself. When we join, we won't be ourselves anymore. Your senses yank back to your body, still in Aethys's hand.
It's pretty cool art
There's
right there.
light, sunlight. He has emerged from Ashen Maw, the rim of the volcano and the great keep of the Rathun collapsing behind him. The Audra is barely visible through the thick lava covering his body, and still, he moves.
I feel like this whole scene is like the nexus point of the creator or creators, whoever the writers are for Pillars 2. When they had this idea, they like built a lot of the story around this giant god statue standing in a volcano and like carrying the party out of it.
The ocean is gone, water sucked away, leaving only the bare seabed glistening in an ominous silence.
That's spooky.
You summon the strength to turn your head. Through the cracks in the great god's fingers, you see a
Could be a
wall
$5
of
million
water,
FMV.
taller
Yeah,
than Nekataka,
exactly.
taller than Aethys, as tall as the moon. It comes with the rumbling of a terrible stampede.
It feels very legit tabletop-y to do it through narration and individual images, though. That's cool.
The wave slams into Aethys. His hand closes, protecting you from the devastation. Somewhere in your mind, you hear Andra screaming. You are back inside him. Back with yourself. Are you still the same Watcher who returned the lost souls of the Deerwood to their intended bodies? A light shines within the soul as it observes you. Waiting. I am.
This is interesting. So it's like, I don't know if this is actually a decision with consequence, but I read this as saying, do you want to inherit shit from Pillars of Eternity 1 or not? Are you going to play with Canon Shepherd, or are you going to import your save? We already did that at the beginning of the game. I am, and I will do everything I can to save those poor souls before I'm done.
Good. Then this should be easy. You feel cool air, seawater. The back of your mind pulls your attention back to your body. Aethys stands amid the now calm waves. Kraken futilely clinging to his limbs as he gingerly
Kraken
sets
and
down
Kraken?
the ship
Huh,
with
today I
one
learned.
hand.
Because you don't often run into more than one Kraken.
Carefully opens his other, setting your body on the deck. As your head comes to rest, your vision rocks forward, pulled back into the Audra, back to your soul.
Yeah, I like that they give you that ability in case you wanted to make that decision, or if you wanted to be the same character from the first one. It's a clever way to still tie it in, but give the player some agency there, even if it's just in text.
Some of us is lost to him. Fragments and the empty spaces between them. They will always be a part of him. But we are still us. And it's time for us to go. Together.
To give me a chance to bail. Okay, together.
The soul rushes toward you, flying into you with ferocious speed. You are thrust back through the Audra, out of the palm of Aethys' hand, back into your body. You can feel the sensation of your skin, the warmth of the Audra, but you are not fully in control. The other soul struggles to reach the surface of the body's consciousness, but you pull it down.
It'd be funny if I'm like
Entangled,
Aloth now.
you float in a dark, boundless expanse. The more you fight each other, the closer you become, until somehow, impossibly, every piece of you is touching every piece of them.
Hot.
Through the distant window of your eyes, you see Aethys push slowly against your ship.
Does that count as masturbation?
It is still the touch of a god. The ship lurches, rapidly tearing across the water southward. His hand pulls away from your ship's wake, his body straightening, towering overhead. The volcanic rock, now cooled and gently steaming, sloughs from his body as he moves. The Audra beneath is still immaculate, unmarred. He watches you depart, and you hear a voice in your mind as you sink deeper into the blackness of sleep.
I'm an auto-animosexual. I only have sex with my own soul.
Tell them what you have witnessed, Watcher. Tell them what is coming.
The windows of your eyes retreat into the distance. The fragment of your soul is so close to you in the darkness that you can't tell if its thoughts are separate from your own. Aethys is going to Ukaizo.
Aethys is going to Ukaizo.
He's going to stop the wheel.
Oh wow, she's like kind of emoting on these lines. He's gonna stop the wheel.
Aethys is going to Ukaizo. Aethys is going to Ukaizo. He's going to stop the wheel. The words repeat in your mind until they become an incessant, meaningless mantra. Involuntary meditation in the emptiness of your unconscious. When the words finally dissolve and become part of the darkness, you see a pinpoint of light. You no longer sense the other soul. No longer sense the person you were before Aethys touched you. You swim toward the light.
It means I inherit like 18 levels of Chanter, right? No.
As you come closer, the light becomes two blurry spots of radiance. You settle in behind your eyes and feel your lips already moving, mumbling. Around your body you sense familiar scents and sounds. Voices raised in shock and alarm.
It's giving my class levels back.
You take control of your mouth, opening it wide and drawing a great
It's true.
breath.
It's a cool part in Earthbound. You gain like 20 levels and get a bunch of new spells. Really like that game. It had a lot of really cool ideas. I guess I wish that not every RPG has to be like Earthbound, obviously, but Earthbound feels like it's trying to do so many things so differently than a typical RPG. Even its own sequel, Mother 3, is trying to be so different from Earthbound. And I'm growing to see, especially Japanese RPGs, as being like ultra traditionalist.
Are we simply going to wait? What if he never wakes up?
Are those frilled collars stuffed in your ears? If the Watcher's mumblings are right, then Aethys is marching on Ukaizo. We have to move.
Oh, right, because they've had me saying it over and over. That makes sense.
He's seizing power from the very gods who betrayed him. Destroying the wheel to make sure they never come back. It's a coup, and we have to muster the strength to stop it.
The unraveling of Kohopa from Tangaloa is our greatest test from the gods, I say. We must live to deserve the world they make for us.
It's a wise thing to say. Say nothing. Stand up.
Well, there is some life in him still, but I do not know how his senses fare.
Snaps his fingers a few times in front of your
It
eyes.
seems you've been talking in your sleep about Aethys' plan to destroy the wheel. Our friends here are understandably concerned.
So I'm not super clear on what it means. Okay, so the consequences of destroying the wheel, like, souls still exist, you just don't get reincarnated? Like every soul, it's like the real world, as far as we know. Every soul is a one-time use. You live, you die, you're kaput, that's it. Definitely sounds like it retires the gods.
Join our talks, I say. Rational discussion will gust away the ominous smoke rising from Ashen Maw.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'm not inviting spoilers about stuff that hasn't yet been revealed, but I'm also puzzled as to why any random person in this world would be opposed to this concept, unless if it's clear to them what the consequences would be.
The Deadfire
That makes sense.
is no stranger to cataclysm. We can survive by cleaving to a shared purpose, a greater good, Akira.
Or maybe that's meant to be something that characters in the universe have an understanding for, but that's not meant to be revealed to me as the audience, the player, yet.
For what else did the gods place us here? We who have ships and resources enough to make a difference.
What we need is brass. Rawatai has ships and cannons aplenty, but the only way I'm sending them is if...
Sound of approaching footsteps grows in volume as a courier scrambles into the throne room. Listening with not fire sweat, but regular sweat this time.
Ships have formed a blockade around Queen's Berth. Their commander demands parley with Serpent's Crown.
What? But what about our ships? I must get a message through to the captains.
Okay, so the immediate interpretation of a typical person in this universe is to breaking the wheel is... Well, but they shouldn't even understand that that means no more gods, right? Because really only the player character and the main party members from Pillars 1 have that secret knowledge. That the gods are dependent on the wheel to exist. and that they're in fact fabrications themselves. So I guess I'm just curious, like, what does the fucking emperor of this place or any rando in the Royal Deadfire Company think of that?
This is a stirring bid for my attention.
Scary religious concept with unknown consequences.
Send word to my water shapers to drain the sea around the flagship. I would parley on better terms than this.
That's cool. They're scared because they don't know what it entails. Okay,
My
got
queen!
it.
They fly the colors of pirates! The Principe are...
Thanks for discussing it. I just wasn't sure if that was something that I was meant to remember from Pillars 1.
Well, what have we here?
Like if it clearly implied that everyone would be a Hollowborn or something, but that didn't seem in line with what Aethys was describing. That's a helpful comparison. Tell the ancient Greeks that Zeus is going to destroy the underworld. Sure, yeah. Or tell Christians that you have secret knowledge that Jesus himself announced that heaven and hell are closing. Okay.
Forgive me, Loveson, but it looks like you're having a party. A rather fine one to which you didn't invite me.
Most people don't really have memory of their past lives, though, right?
You painted vagrants are a plague on my tribes. Why should I not hang you from the walls of my garden?
You should be asking yourself how they got in here in the first place.
Oh, I do love when they squabble. But I'm here for neither pleasantries nor entertainment. We've bigger fish to fry. Or should I say gods?
Soldier pistol to aim at his chest.
Now everyone just calm down. I promise we won't fire on you at this time. Unless firstly provoked. That is, until once we've safely absconded from the city back to the high seas.
We have bigger fish gods to fire fry.
Then all bets are off again. Aye?
Yes, well, if you have a point, pirate, I suggest you reach it quickly.
We're supposed to take a bunch of pirates at their word?
Right you are. However, Ukaizo.
Oh shit, I skipped the
What's
text
the
on
lost city
accident.
of gold got to do with
And
the
we
god
just
on a
told her that
rampage?
this is going to Ukaizo. Aethys is going there to break the reincarnation cycle. No more second or third chances. This may be the last life we ever live. Let's just say he's going there to break the reincarnation cycle.
Fuck, if that doesn't put things into perspective.
She caught up quick. Like the people are like, yeah, the Watcher's not lying. It's so... It's interesting. I am fiercely skeptical in real life, but in stories, it's just frustrating to me when... I guess it's like a dramatic irony thing where the audience, the viewer, knows something is true, and the characters in the story are skeptical of it for a very long time, right? Like, it's frustrating when you as the audience have seen that ghosts are real and you waste 30 minutes of storytelling having the characters not believe the protagonist that ghosts are real, right? In a way that's not as interesting as if you told the story where there are no ghosts and it was about skeptics that don't believe in ghosts, if that makes sense.
But what's that even mean in the long run? Folks who die won't be coming back again.
Hey, they're asking the questions I was asking. Their souls will be trapped in the in-between. Maybe not at first, but eventually Aora will be starved of life. It's possible. I don't know. This isn't exactly common.
This is all dark and foreboding sounding. But what's it mean for my soul?
Thanks, Aldous. You're asking the proper questions right away. You are savvy.
I mean, I like the idea of pirating throughout the Great Beyond as much as the next gal. But if, say, I got no awareness after I die, does it even matter what happens?
Yeah, it's the Ghostbusters 2 problem.
Ak, of course you have no interest past that of your eyes and your stomach.
It's something that Joss Whedon, I find, is really good at writing. He's good at writing universes where characters can get up to speed really fast in a way that's satisfying for the audience, rather than irritating.
Let us speak now of what can be done. Must be done. Watcher, you know best of all of us what our options are.
Like, Up until 2 minutes ago, I didn't believe in vampires, but now there are fucking vampires. Got it. What's next? Let's go. Our only hope is to reason with him.
If he's heading to Ukaizo, then the time for speeches is over. We have to act quickly. Defending Ukaizo is the highest priority. Our ships are fast and well-equipped. We could sail to the edge of Andra's mortar. See if Aethys' passage opens a way through the storms.
Oh, okay, that makes sense why they haven't found the city.
Of course, finding Ukaizo once we're through is another matter.
I like that there have been other side quests planting at Ukaizo that you could have done before this. I can sense Aethys and Andra's mortar. My soul calls out from inside him. You want to find Ukaizo? With Aethys on his way, I'm an Ukaizo compass.
That's so. You just might be able to save us.
It's a mode in this game and helps me to distinguish the characters better.
We speak of collectively sailing for Andra's mortar, but this crown will not support any plan that involves a single outsider ship landing on the shores of Ukaizo.
How you been, Eternus?
It is for this moment that the gods test me. Anyone who seeks to cross Andra's mortar will learn that the gates of Ukaizo are the end of compromise with the Huana.
Can everyone agree to an armistice? Armistice while we work through this crisis? Ceasefire.
I don't mean to let Aethys end us while we bicker. But the fate of Ukaizo is not exclusively a Huana concern.
I think I'm getting the gist of it now. While these witless princocks go at each other's throats, we principally will cut
I could
through
see
the
that
storms
being
and plunder the city of gold.
pretty busy right now, Eternus, yeah.
Whatever Aethys is seeking in those ruins, we'll find it.
Look at this. All these interests from the politics that they've been building up over 25 hours.
I'll have front row seats to the end of the world.
All paths converge on Ukaizo. Classic.
If the Huana cannot take back our beginning, then our end fast approaches. The gods will judge us by our devotion to Ukaizo.
Okay, so like, let me see if I follow the factions here. The native people of the Deadfire want to go to Ukaizo because of its religious significance to them. The random element, non-affiliated folks like pirates want it because they want it rated for treasure. And the Deadfire company also kind of wants to rate it for treasure, but more they want to control it because they want more power in the region in order to increase the wealth of their empire.
Are you going to guard it as closely as you've guarded your palace today? Ukaizo was yours once, and you lost it. Meanwhile, the storms that cover Andra's mortar plague Rauatai too. We will help the Watchers stop Aethys, but we will not leave our country's future in soft hands. We hope the Watcher agrees.
Still trying to wrap my head around the relationship between the Royal Deadfire Company and the natives of the Deadfire. Like, it's not as one-to-one as the East India Company.
Watcher, there are two kinds of people in the Deadfire. Those who have called it home since time immemorial, and opportunists.
Valians have a separate motivation, okay.
With Ukaizo under our control, the Huana would restore order as it has not been seen since the days of our ancestors.
I'm already kind of like envisioning the big end of game choices. Who gets Ukaizo, and do we let Aethys break the wheel? But so far they haven't really made that a choice. It's kind of like, this is bad, this is bad. I guess my I'm okay with it option is to just pick say nothing.
Order. And the only question is whether it will be the order of ignorance and tradition, or else of conquest. The secrets to be found in Ukaizo could elevate us all beyond the telling. I will not relinquish that dream so easily.
So they want knowledge. knowledge, wealth, power, or faith, basically.
Watcher, I say the time to play at freelancing is at an end. Any of us could get you to Ukaizo, but only one of us will
Oh, we're getting
stand
this
by
choice
your
sooner than I
side.
thought. Interesting.
Let's speak, Watcher, while we have the chance.
Bend your ear a tick.
Not the time, Seraphim, but sure.
Shody seems a right fine lass and all, but, well, she asked me to pick around in the forts. Told her I didn't see nothing. I bounced right off of her. But that were a lie.
Of course you lied. You were talking. What'd you see?
Darkness, Cap, and little but. Then fires, make an ash of everything.
I knew Shoti was a prequel character to the Dark Souls universe. Find yourself aboard the Defiance main deck. Something unseen presses down on you. Keep watching. You're alone, save for the corpses, Seraphin, Ader, Shoti, Aloth, and so many others. Their wide, unblinking eyes reflect the burning sky above and the dark sea beneath you. Churns as if boiling. With a crash like thunder, the ship breaks apart and you plunge into water that is either so cold it burns, or so hot that it freezes you solid. That was unpleasant.
I touched her mind for a second, but felt something pull me in and keep me trapped for what seemed like days. I ain't seen its like
Fire
before.
ice.
Sometimes old salts get nightmares so that I can't bunk around them. But they usually ain't this flavor of apocalyptic.
If it were you, would you want to know?
Right, fair point, Cap. We all deserve a fighting chance against our demons. And mayhaps I can help the lass stack the odds in her favor.
Is that the only person that had a major story revelation as a result of being carried away by a literal god? Okay, cool. Let's see. I have to talk to everybody and see who has the best deal for me. Forge alliances or prepare your ship for a hard voyage. Committing to any of them is sure to anger the others in the end. I need the very best hull and sail available on the Deadfire. You can find the Valiant Trading Company headquarters in Queen's Berth. Alright, well, like, I kind of want to go for the people who want knowledge. Do I lock myself out of quests if I do this? Can I like do all the side quests before it? Is there a Mass Effect 2 style way to make everybody happy? I'll take that if it exists. I kind of wish it didn't exist in Mass Effect 2 though. I could still do most side quests, okay. You can do everything up to their final side quest. There's a way to... Do you make everyone unhappy by just going by yourself? Gotcha. Yeah, I love Mass Effect, but it really made me sad that they constantly offered you a way out to make everyone happy all the time. Let's see. So, just to help me orient where I am in the playthrough, this feels to me like an Uber quest. Like, after I pick a faction to do all their side quests and finish their side quest chain, then I'm going to Ukaizo, and that's approaching the end of the game. Is that right? So now's the time to start doing side quests and other non-main story content? Okay. They'll just offer you their final quests after the cutscene. Sure. Yeah. The point of no return would be siding with one of them, right? Okay. So we're just crossing the halfway point of the How Long to Beat. And this was added to the sheet under main plus extra. The assumption is that I'm going to spend some time side questing. I just want to think about how I want to orient that playtime. From the point of no return, so from completing a side quest chain to the end of the game, are we talking like, is that like 4 hours of content, 8 hours of content? Less than that? I guess it's question one. And then I'm probably going to side with the Valians just because knowledge is more interesting to me than faith, heritage, power, or wealth. But if there's a particular quest chain from one of those factions that's interesting, I guess let me know and I'll do it. Or if you think that those side quest chains are like the most significant side content, then I can do those and focus on them before I touch any of the other random side quests. Less than 4? Okay. So as long as whenever we get to the episode that brings us to like hour 46 of the playthrough, as long as I accept the quest by the end of that episode, then the following episode we should be able to beat the game. And that'll let me just do side quests up until that point. All quest chains until the final one. Yeah, well, it seems like a lot of the side content is... Even the rando side quests feel pretty significant in terms of, like, unique maps that you visit and cool story beats and stuff. But we're thinking that for the remaining, let's call it 20 hours, it definitely makes sense to do all of the faction side quest chains up to their penultimate. And then depending on time remaining after that, maybe pick from among the remaining side quests. Okay. Are these quests already summarized here under Juana, Principi, Valian Trading Company, and Royal Deadfire Company? Like all of these contribute, or is only like one of these from among this list part of them? I guess the bounties wouldn't, right? Just figure out where I should go for the Royal Deadfire Company quest. I assume that's Imperial Command in the Brass Citadel. Everything else is part of their chain, though, other than the ones that say bounty. Sure. Right. Are the chain quests called out in any way? They don't have like a special... At or below your current level.
My brothers used to spend hours chasing each other through the Merkberry fields. Don't think a day went by I didn't have a skinned knee or a bleeding elbow.
We did that sometime. My brother usually had a hand in the bleeding.
He older or younger than you? Either way, I bet he's just as strapping.
Oh, sometimes you get the same quest from different factions, and doing the quest will resolve all of them. I see.
Raid Sarah's invaded.
Oh, I didn't... I mean, of course, that's... God, but I'm so sorry.
Nader's just like, that's right, you're sorry. Their default buffs here. There's just the food buff. Oh, and there's stances. Okay. Cool. Thanks for discussing that with me. I know that there's some spoilers in there, but like understanding the way games are structured is part of the fun for me, and I feel like I might not realize that until it was too late, or not be able to figure that out until after committing. Although they did make it pretty clear, like, you're making a choice of 1 out of 4 things. I just didn't realize that there was a quest chain behind all of them.
So, Ukaizo's real, and your glowing friend is headed there.
Yep.
We've got to move quick.
We? Doesn't hear your skepticism or chooses to ignore it.
Our engineers believe there's something unnatural about the storms of Andra's mortar, and the ones that have made Rawatai a rain-lashed rock.
Is there any, like, extra content for going it alone, since you have to, it's like, it seems like that's the hardest thing to do, just make the best possible ship.
If Ukaizo really exists, it could be the key to understanding them.
Or is it more of a negative content path, like, telling the entity at the end of Mass Effect 3 to fuck off?
The Ingwithans
less
were
content.
masters of
Okay.
engineering, and with the knowledge of Ukaizo, we could surpass them.
So it's harder to do, but it doesn't result in, like, bonus content. Okay. Kaizo was originally the Juana capital.
You think they could have achieved this? Where have you seen anything this ambitious among their works? The Ingwithans, on the other hand, left monuments to their greatness around the world.
Ooh, not enough history. You want to reach Ukaizo and tame the storms.
We could truly transform Rawatai. No more flooded cities. No more harvests washed from the fields.
So when I said they want power, they specifically want weather control, okay. If this destroys the machinery of reincarnation, bad weather will be the least of your problems.
That's why I'm counting on you to deal with him. I can help you reach Aethys. But first, I must prepare for the world we'll all live in after you confront him. And I need your assistance. The trouble in Hasango forced us to send additional ships back to Rawatai to make up for shortfalls.
Lore-wise, Rawatai kind of sucks. Gotcha.
And storms at
Stormy
home have
and
delayed
seedy.
another portion of our fleet. This leaves us short-handed here.
This is what you call short-handed. I'd love to see what you consider full capacity. What are you asking of me?
We're due to collect a special shipment for delivery to our port at Sayuka. We've contracted with a captain named Widla. Meet her, complete the trade, and take the cargo to Sayuka. Fleet Master Okaya is overseeing the development of some special projects there.
So, okay, let me make sure I follow the structure. If I had not have done that quest previously, the main story quest with Aethys at the Ashen Maw, this quest that I'm getting now from Hazanui Karu, could I have gotten this separately, just from talking to other NPCs, and it's just kind of forcing me onto the path now because I'm talking to her? I don't think I've finished the Royal Deadfire stuff yet.
She's one of the brightest minds in Rawatai, and it shows. You two will get along.
I see. So if you suppose there are, let's say there's 5 quests in the chain, and I'm on quest 2, if I go and talk to her after the Ashen Maw event, she's just going to give me a breadcrumb to get to quest 3, no matter what, whether I found it on my own or not.
Most of her work is, or should be, under wraps for now. But perhaps she can give you a taste of what we have to offer.
Gotcha. Thank you. That's helpful. If it's important, I can handle it. What next?
Widla's agreed to meet our courier out at sea, away from the heaviest traffic.
It's obvious when you get to the final one. Okay.
This is her payment. We've already negotiated with her. Fleet Master Okaya will see to your compensation once you arrive with the cargo. Clear skies.
Cool. Home seas. Guess we'll just do them one by one. Currently planning to side with Baelia, so I'm gonna plan on doing their faction last.
You must gather your party.
Blue ball everyone.
What did you do before you were a ship hunter?
Rough times, lass. Would spare you the telling, lest you be set on it.
I reckon I can handle it.
Crew I will if they give me any job they thought like to kill me. I'll live to prove them wrong.
Can't live the good times unless you survive the bad. That what being a pirate's all about?
Aye, sure enough. Besides, lasses say the scars be adding distinction.
Consider it done.
Fruit. Alcohol. Oh, I have to go to a zone boundary to travel, don't I? Okay.
You must gather your party before venture.
I've noticed you seem to be others in your order.
Some of my brethren don't understand why I gotta do what I do. But I'm not beholden to them.
I can certainly sympathize.
I never did camp while I was out there. Because I can just do it in whatever next combat zone I go to. It's funny that like the hardest place for you to get a free rest is in a town. It makes sense, I guess, but just see if I can shore up supplies real fast. Medical supplies, rice, lager. That looks like we're okay for now. The loading screen before the loading screen. Should move this game to the SSD. Which playthrough time ended up saving. It's not that bad. It's not like Horizon Zero Dawn. Okie doke. Let's see the rendezvous location. West of Nekataka. Does that show up as a quest marker? There she is.
You find yourself in cold, suffocating darkness. There is a familiar weight in your hand. A lantern. It sputters to life, and the world shifts into focus.
The
A
boat
staircase
does?
spirals endlessly below you. With nowhere else to go, you start down. A wave of blistering heat hits you. Then a sea salt wind. Divine voices boom and screech. Their words shake the platform beneath.
Oh, it was just coincidental
Shake
that
the
this
very
started
air
as the boat
around
was
you.
about to reach
The
me.
gods are fighting.
Lay your blame elsewhere, Wodika. I won't suffer your arguments any longer.
Mogren looms large before you, an accusing finger leveled at the melted visage of Wodika. Wodika screws her mouth into a sneer.
You fool! If only we had attacked him when I first proposed it.
Accusations drip bitter as bile from her tongue.
Pat the cover of Whitaker's burned book and signal you'll talk later.
You have found us engaged in a spirited discussion.
Literally.
The pallid knight looks down at you, a frown etched deep in her otherwise statue-still features.
I am afraid we are not at our best.
The Watchers returned. Perhaps we should hear what he has to say.
Helia's birds chatter anxiously among themselves. Wal's many eyes alight on each god in turn.
We make little enough progress on our own.
That's obvious. Progress? Are you planning something new?
We try, but agreement eludes us.
Andra's storm-dark eyes swivel to meet yours.
Is there nothing we can do?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to just prepare the save file as much as possible for ending the game around hour 50. And then with free time, I obviously want to explore a lot.
Margaret glances at the pallid night from the corner of her eye. After a thoughtful pause, she speaks.
The time has come for us to seize the power we have long left untouched and absorb our scattered children.
Andra nods, her lure bobbing bright.
Terrible though it would be, perhaps you are right.
Didn't Margaret mention this once before?
I did, and I was scolded like a child for my terrible audacity.
A curl of steam rises from her nose. The pallid knight looks on, impassive.
Sure.
Should we be killed, we may possess the bodies of our godlike children. Or should we face a force too powerful to stand against, we can absorb their souls, granting us additional strength.
What?
But
Say
we get
nothing.
ahead of ourselves. First, the Watcher must get to Ukaizo, and that will be a trial all its own.
What do you mean?
The Guardian of Ukaizo has stood watch over that place for millennia. It will not stand aside, not even for Bareth's Herald.
Well, I guess I definitely want to do all of the faction side quests. I'm anticipating that's going to be like 4+ hours per faction.
Helia, who had been lost in quiet, anxious conversation with her birds, breaks in.
It yet lives.
Should still leave plenty of time for other random side questing.
Of course. Our progenitors crafted it.
A pair of Helia's finches come to join Wow's floating eye. They hover just out of Mogren's reach and swoop in to poke her when she's not looking.
And the Watcher will be forced to reckon with it if he wishes to confront Aethys.
The birds at last linger too long, and Mogren slaps them away. They burst into a cloud of essence, then reform, and fly in a screeching chorus back to Helia.
Is there any reason for me to get more party members? Since I already have the max party size? I guess in a lot of games I'm usually excited for that, but... I think in Planescape, once I hit max party, it was just like, alright, bye. Nice meeting you. They have dialogue. I guess I can do their, like... They all sort of have the equivalent. I'm sorry I keep comparing it to Mass Effect, but that's kind of like my gold standard of this style of Western RPG, as far as, like, the kind of structure I like. I really like the way the loyalty missions are laid out in Mass Effect 2, where I'm only ever going to use the same squad of 3 characters, but I'm really excited to do the unique content side missions of the other squad members that I wouldn't use. So if it's close to that in terms of the significance of their side content, then I'm super on board for that. They'll have a companion quest? Okay, that's good enough reason then. Maybe I'll do the factions up to their penultimate quests, and then try to go around and pick up all the missing companions. Do companions only accrue reputation points if they're actually with you for story events, though? Maybe I should be picking them up sooner. Yeah, I like the idea of recommended companions. That's a smart way to discourage you from just always using the same group all the time. Guardian of Ukaizo?
A creature crafted by the Ingwithans to protect the machinery of reincarnation. It doesn't care much for visitors.
Will you divulge our every secret to the Kith, Mogren?
Mogren shrugs.
If it suits me.
Go prepared, Watcher. The Guardian will not stand aside, not even for the Herald of Bareth.
Won't Aethys take care of it?
It is not one of Gallowayne's mindless beasts. It has a heart and a mind, and it will throw neither away to oppose Aethys. And Aethys will not fight the creature. It would prove little more than a distraction for him, especially as my tsunami and Mogren's volcano couldn't stop him.
No, I don't mind having this structural conversation, because it sounds like this game goes out of its way to make that matter, which is cool. So, okay, how many companions are remaining to recruit? And are all of them associated with the 4 faction quest chains, or are there any, is there like a random island where I can recruit a golem or something like that? That's part of what's made me not want to think about it too much. 2 main ones. Okay. Why can't you just get rid of it?
It is its own creature, Watcher. It does not listen to us.
There is another topic we have yet to address.
The Pallid Knight holds up one gauntleted hand, and the other gods fall silent.
Tell me, Watcher, where do you stand?
Yeah, I suppose for now I'm only interested in party members that have side quests and which might show up as recommended party members for quests. So if you want to point me to the locations to go to get those, I could do that basically immediately. I'm on board with that. And then I think that the other minor side characters, the random island type folks, I'll try to get before the playthrough's over. I'm just trying to make a a hierarchy of priorities here for side questing. 2 major side quest characters, 4 faction quest chains, several minor side characters. Yeah. I'm like building Water Shaper's Guild. Okay, so I'll do those after this scene here.
What do you think of Aothas's scheme to destroy the wheel?
It's a long time coming. Kith will finally know what a bunch of frauds you all are. Can no longer count on the gods for guidance. Kith will have to figure this out on our own.
Perhaps you misunderstand. This is not a test you will overcome on your own. Aethys intends to change the fundamental structure of life and death.
Sounds great.
Does that not frighten you? You, Kith, who are
No, I'm
most
terrified.
vulnerable.
Fatalism helps no one and solves nothing.
Aethys loves the mortals more than any of us. He has always been their greatest champion. He believes Kith will rise to his challenge. I am not so sure, but I look forward to watching them try.
How did Aethys fool you all? You're the most powerful beings in Aethys.
They found our blind spot and exploited it admirably. By the time we even had a hint of what it was he intended, it was already too late to stop him.
If we still had our bodies, we could oppose him.
Wodica balls her bony hands into fists and glares long at Andra.
I hope that this is actually the endgame choice, because I guess it's pretty... Depending on what it actually means, it makes it difficult to make a Pillars of Eternity 3, but I guess we'll discuss that when we beat it.
Do not lay your blame on me. We set them aside after I killed Abaddon, it is true, but you did not fight the decision then.
She turns her back on Wodica then, and looks instead to the Pallid Knight.
This game gets to more or less ignore your decision at the end of the first game by placing it in a completely different geographical location, right? And it doesn't ignore it, it references it and stuff, but it doesn't have to like fundamentally alter. They didn't have to make 2 games or more.
What if Aethys is right, and Kith succeed in rebuilding the wheel? What then?
It makes me sad that that game will never exist, I don't think. I just don't think it's financially viable to make a sequel to a title that's effectively 2, 3, or even more games that requires you to play the previous title to get to any of those sub-games, right? I guess if you did it, you'd have to make it extremely small. What if Aethys is right and Kith succeed in rebuilding the wheel? We make our world without you in it. I don't know, but aren't you curious to find out? I like that.
Wal grins.
Always, Watcher.
I like Wal. I should have worshipped God of Secrets.
And what if they fail?
Some kind of like Nyarlathotep Lovecraft
Then they
Space
die.
god.
And so do we. We have to help them.
Helia's voice rises, near to panic.
I think I chose, I thought it was Hylia, but I guess it could be Helia. Who knows with the narrator?
Worica
In the
drives
first
her
game.
fist into her hand.
Help them! We should finally bring them to heel!
The Pallid Knight raises a hand and stares at Worica until she falls silent.
Watcher, Aothis yet values your counsel.
Never used the druid in the first game.
The Pallid Knight's eyes bore into yours.
An impassioned plea from the Hound of Aothis may still temper his actions. Confront him at Ukaizo.
Say nothing.
Time moves swiftly away from us now.
The Pallid Knight spreads her hands before her.
Go, Watcher. Do what you must.
The edges of your vision begin to dim. Like a sun setting, twilight encroaches on your mind. The Pallid Knight conjures a blinding white light in her palm that swiftly grows to engulf the room. Then, the crack of thunder rends the air, and you feel the floor drop out beneath you. You come to flat on your back, staring at an all-too-familiar ceiling. Alone, once again.
And then a boat immediately harasses you as you come out of the loading screen. I think it was that one? The one that's trying to chase me now? Can't tell what it is. Slavers? Or to screw naval combat. I don't understand it. It's too complicated. It's I feel like they could have made naval combat work for me if it wasn't like a text menu. What's the future line? He's opening our eyes to new ideas. Kill him!
Oh?
I just feel like they didn't put as much effort into it as they probably could have. Are they all gonna get to go before that casts? Oh shit, well, that's not good. So I haven't hit end turn yet. Yeah, I'll try it. Hey, Sodian. This is a option in the menu. Just making sure these are all slavers. Can I, like, not kill the slaves? Is that an option? Kind of looks like the answer is no. My AI companions fight them regardless. Try to keep them from crossing here. Get it, parrot. No, it's just a game option. Head mode, right next to colorblind mode. It helps me to distinguish the characters better. Oh, they've all moved out of the way of my ice ball, you dicks. How dare you? Knock all these assholes down at least. DK mode. Back in Goldeneye.
What do you need?
He still doesn't really have any AoE. I guess I'll send him to just kill this wizard. Game Genie. I used Game Genies all the time when I was a younger kid on the NES and the Super Nintendo. That was pretty good. That was also pretty good.
Oh?
That was less good. Did it hit Ader? Okay, no, Ader was out of the way. Lucky me. Maybe hit these guys again now that they're all knocked down, so it's likely they're going to move out of the way. Can I kill any of them on this turn? Not really. Try to knock them down. Should use this regardless.
That looks like it hurt.
Sweet. Don't kill the parrot, please. It would make me very sad if you did that. She's got some resources here. Let's see. Sorely lacking in AoE. Dazing. Let's try to daze all of them. Nice AoE. He used up his resources last turn. Let's try to shoot them where he's standing. Nice.
What do you need?
Oh, the unused companions show up in ship combat? That's cool. Can warp up and hit these guys, right? Oh. Knockdown. Perfect. Getting out of the way of my ice ball. You guys are dicks. Stay put and let me freeze you to death. Oh, one of my own characters walked into that. Unfortunately, I didn't kill them. Let's do Death Laser, maybe?
Right here.
Weather Wizard. Or Slaver. Here to use. Let me eat a corpse actually. If I can get someone, maybe I can. Thunder Fists. Kick this person. Ugh, it's not actually very good damage. It's a bummer.
What do you need?
Slaver down. Heard the naval combat disguise of Arcadia's ship battles. You can hear that, yeah. I'm just one short of being able to dominate and charm a bunch of them. Bummer. That's okay, this attack still does a bunch of damage. They work as climactic set piece battles. Makes sense.
Right here.
There's probably a way to do it that's interesting.
Absolutely.
Finish eating the corpse. Yeah, that death laser is insanely powerful. Big fan. Heal folks here if I can. Ow.
Only takes your feet to blow her away.
Knock him down. Nice. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. You just chilling now, Maya? Alright. Death laser.
Yeah.
Let's see, are you weak enough to be shaken, barbaric roar, bloodied? I think that plus to harvest still works on bloodied, right? Or is it near death only? Bloodied or near death, they will take even more damage. Correct. Sweet. Crew gains 2 sailor experience. I gained a rank. Bunch of loot. Take all and continue. Oh, I guess I'm full on repair supplies. Share coins with crew. Does that just give them bonus morale when that happens? You gonna hear that fanfare again when we come out? Yep. Alright, let me go do this step of the quest really quick since I'm close to it, and then I'll go recruit the other 2 party members. Oh, sleek ship rides low in the water. Its crew stands protectively around a cluster of crates.
We said or not, Perrin.
Bangs her fist against one of the crates.
I'd happily tell you if you stopped interrupting my count.
He is a dwarf.
You've had days to count. Now it's time we talked about the price.
Turns her attention to me.
We've had some complications. The price has doubled.
Do you know who I'm representing? Intuition. She's a little too fast to respond, almost as if she's trying to stop you from saying more.
I know they've got the cash.
Intimidate. We also know they've got guns. Want them to be happy with this deal.
Fine. 1,000 it is.
Why did you raise the price?
Guess you've never snuck a few coppers from the tip jar. Let's just say there are other folks who'd be happy to pay my price.
Insight 5. Merchant I didn't take. You won't be in the business long if you treat your contacts this way. I see.
You buying or looking?
Give 1,000 copper.
Glad
Deal.
we could do business.
Smugglers unload the crates on your
I
ship.
see. I see. I see. I see.
I see. I see.
I see.
I see. Okay. Go to Sayaka real quick. Then I will get characters. As your crew haul the smugglers' crates below decks, one of them shouts an alarm. Someone's popped out one of the crates we picked up. Hey! So they ask, what are all the the piratey things that we need to include. I like the death explosions. It helps me to see when an enemy's actually dead. I wish I could make it so that every dead enemy exploded like that. Because it only happens occasionally, like in Fallout?
Gelarde, 23 days! This is a new record.
Feeling an expression of approval, it translates to brave or defiant. Lady, you are setting all kinds of records right now. Congratulations, I'm sure that's really great. What were you doing in there?
Waiting to reach Sayuka, of course.
Based on crits.
Also testing my newest spell, Renove Miseres.
Yeah. I'm from Velia. I completely forgot about that. Renewal of air?
Ark, just so. Kith have explored every mountain in the eastern reach, yet the realm of fish and leviathans remains close to us. It has been my dream to open these steps to discovery, to let Kith breathe as the fishes do. Or at least to let us use the air of a single breath again and again.
Why go to Sayaka? Why leave the Valiant Republics?
Back home, they care only for profit, and there is little profit to be had in sticking your head in the glass bucket to watch the fish. But the Rawatayans, they have vision. They chase greater things than gold. So I go to work with them.
Intellect. Let me get this straight. You've been perfecting a spell that recycles air. You'll use it to help the Rawatayans make something big.
So you do understand.
Hey, intellect.
But I can say no more. The Rawatayans, they have sworn me to secrecy.
What exactly are you to be working on at Sayaka?
Sintere, but I had promised not
Sincerely?
to say.
I'm sorry. I don't understand why you had to hide in a crate.
Neither do I.
Oh, but Okaya, she thinks maybe the Dukes will not be so happy to let me go.
At least he gave me plenty of time to test my work.
That's all, I suppose.
Yes, I have much to do. Many more tests to run before we reach Sayuka. A pleasure talking, Captain.
Oh, really? Having on gore explosions prevents corpse eating? Huh. You think it would still leave some kind of, like, placeholder corpse thing on the ground? Sayaka. Fleet Master's orders? Refuse to dine on glorified corpses. But is it like Fallout? Can I store objects in each individual piece of viscera?
Sayuka at last! I must go. Discovery awaits. Agrasima, Captain.
Agrasima. Thank you. I meant to go to the Fleet Master.
No doubt the druids plot their next attack even as we speak.
The Hazanui asked me to deliver some cargo to you.
I've received a report from the dockmaster stating as much. The Royal Deadfire Company appreciates your swift delivery of our cargo.
Your smuggler tried to extort me. Am I a tattletale? Sure, I'll be a tattletale, why not?
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Oh.
Though not entirely unexpected.
You gave me extra money.
I received a report from the dockmaster stating as much. The Royal Deadfire Company appreciates your swift delivery of our cargo.
Did the dockmaster mention anything else?
No, I don't see... Oh, there's a note here at the bottom. It's very small. What does it... Oh. Please accept my apologies for your difficulties. I'll see that the cargo bathes immediately.
I love her portrait, or just the sea orcs in general. I guess I've got like a fantasy prejudiced image of what I would imagine sea orcs to look like, and she kind of just looks like she's got like a 50s grandma haircut.
The Hazanui's
Her
missive
character
suggested
model
you
doesn't look
might
like that
be able to
portrait,
help
though.
us with an issue at port.
Go ahead.
You may have noticed the outsized coral in the harbor. There's something unnatural about the coral's growth, about everything on this island. And no matter how we trim it back, it only grows larger.
Sure, yeah, I gotcha.
My engineers deduced that the
dwarves aren't very
is somewhere off the coast of
stereotypically dwarfy
I'd
either.
like you to investigate. Talk to Avera in the workshop if you care to learn more. I would be grateful for your help here, Watcher.
Seems like a largely racially egalitarian society. Most of the conflict seems to be at like the national level.
Ah, before I forget, Atsura would like to see you at the Brass Citadel.
Let's pull you aside, then reconsiders.
Though he appears placid on the surface, Atsura is not a patient man. Well?
I wanted to ask you something. What does the Royal Deadfire Company hope to achieve in the archipelago?
How much do you know of Rawatai, Watcher?
Well, I'm not a Rawataian, but I've studied its history. 4 points in history.
So you have a scholarly understanding. That's not worth nothing.
Shoti and Seraphim are
You'll
happy.
find we appreciate the spirit of inquiry in Sayuka, and in Rawatai. Well, I don't need to tell you that Rawatai is a stern mother, tempestuous and inhospitable.
So Rawatai, the closest Earth analog, is like the British Empire, right? Except their home continent is even shittier than the British Isles.
We have to trade for much of what we need, and the Huana have proven to be valuable partners. The Deadfire is markedly more comfortable than Rawatai.
Okay, that's consistent with what we were just learning about.
The archipelago is also an excellent place from which to study the storms of Andra's mortar.
Why are you here in particular?
Do you ask how I came to my position, or why I pursued it to begin with?
What drew you to work?
No one's ever asked me that. I suppose I've always had
Dutch?
a persistent interest in engineering. Even as a child, I was dismantling my mother's guns
Bloods.
just to see how they worked. Then I met Karu. Hazanui Karu. She encouraged me to take my skills to the Navy. So I did, even though I had no obligation to as the youngest of my siblings.
Person on the Obsidian team charged with writing cool side stories and backgrounds for the otherwise unimportant NPCs is getting paid right now. I'm enjoying this.
We nurture our keen minds in Rawatai, you see. We don't let
Oh, I
them
could see
piddle
Russia
away
as
their
well.
brilliance on frivolities.
Harsh and hospitable.
The bright and willing are supported, mentored, respected.
Ruru told me you were one of the brightest minds in Rawatai.
Is that... Did she really say that?
Deep blush colors Okaya's face, giving her skin a gentle purple hue.
Pardon me, I'm not... I wasn't expecting.
Oh, I just got to pass on a nice thing to Fleet Master Okaya.
Very well.
That's nice. Farewell. That's good. Speak to Atsura in the Bratz Citadel. Alright, I have to go back there anyway, but I finished up this part of the quest. Yeah, I could see the Japan from their names. I know that in many ways, they're their own things, but it's just, we talked about this before, limitations of human creativity, that we tend to think of things in terms of, oh, it's like they've got their religion of the Japanese, but they're nomadic like the Romani people. Valians are like British, Spanish, Italian. Still doing fine on ship supplies, it looks like. Alright, Valiant Republic, the Water Shapers Guild. Guess I could do the Water Shapers Guild first. I think that was Pariki's Overlook. Where's the, which subzone is the Valiant one? It's Birth, okay. Yeah, I like what they've done with the Juana. It's cool. They've done a really good job of imagining a pretty fully realized multicultural society here. One that's not dependent on Earth stereotypes. The thing I was saying during was a time spinner, it's like,
I got this. I got this.
if you can imagine anything, why would you just imagine Earth again? I've avoided this building like 3 or 4 times now. If this were Mass Effect, then... Oh shit. This doesn't seem good. If this were Mass Effect, and you told me that I avoided a building that had an extra party member in it, I would be aghast. Water Shaper's Robes, Obsidian Flakes.
Give me a real challenge. Oh, this isn't how I usually work.
What happened here?
Alloys fruits and an heavy bullet arc.
More Water Shaper's Robes. Scrolls. Raku's reply. But what did you send me away to meditate on the fourth form in uncharted waters, only to summon me back to the Conga fleet? The bomb must have gone off in Serpent's Crown. What a revelation, if not black powder. The interruption's a setback. Master Water Shaper. 4 forms of water shaping. Quest item. Grief, Hope, Metamorphosis, and Transcendence. Is water shaping like a unique feature of mages in the Deadfire, or is there airbending and firebending as well?
Go no further. There is a situation in the guild hall.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking people are dead.
All is under control, I say. But the building is closed until Myru cleans up the mess below.
What is happening?
Nothing beyond the lights.
It's a Juana thing in specific. Could I have made a water shaper in Pillars 1?
Naga swam in from the waterways of our sanctum. We pressed back until they fled underground. Then Myru gathered her forces for a stand at Pariki's tomb. I am to guard the staircase while she routs the last of them. Kira, but Myru is fierce for her years.
Why are they attacking the guild?
I do not know. With great purpose, they throw their bodies back to Rikuhu's bowels.
Kuhu. Oh, God of Death. Twinniel, that's right. I keep hearing the sub-names. Gohopa and Tangaloa.
I say, this is personal. They strike with anger, not conviction.
Why haven't you summoned help from the Queen?
We are water shapers. Onikaza knows we can walk over a few snakes. Myru, though, I say she would not turn down reinforcements.
What's causing those tremors?
Not snakes, I say. Unless they brought a battering ram.
I hope Myra leaves something for me.
I say you will have to run fast. She could cut through Naga like a harpoon through blubber. I will remain and dispatch any snakes who slither past you. Good hunting.
Myru forbade me from following her, but I say Ngati would not want me to miss this.
You have the voice of a party member. Who are you?
Oh, where to begin? The list goes on, I say. I am the prize water shaper of Nekitaka. I am also the son of Ngati, as you can well guess. Not that I let such things get to my head.
Sort of a fauna trickster goddess. Oh, it's a manifestation of Andra. That makes sense. I'll take all the help I can get.
Then let us be off. Ngati's chosen will bring his foot down on the back of every wriggling snake. Lead on.
Druid, Chanter, Druid plus Chanter. Guess let's do Druid. I did Chanter last game. That'd be different if you come here earlier. I assume this is a quest that recommends bringing... Yeah, okay. How can I change party members without being at my ship, or do I have to go back to my ship to do that? That one's dead if you get here earlier. Go to an inn. And there is no value lost for swapping party members aside from they'll no longer progress their side quests. Is Shoti's side quest done at this point? I guess the way I will use party members is by swapping out the ones that are technically done. Which is the worst in a way. Bathhouse counts. It's that persona problem. Hey, you're my bestest friend. Now I'm never going to talk to you ever again. I no longer have an incentive to. Do I have to talk to like an innkeeper or something? Dude on the far right.
Yeah. My friend, you return. If you require anything at all, you need only ask.
What do you have for sale? Party management. Here we go.
The light will guide me.
Okay, dismissed. I thought dismissed meant something else. I'm like, yikes. Can I freely move their items off one another without being at the inn?
No further.
Guess I need to bring her into the party, take her stuff off. Slaver's Grimoire. How interesting. Wish I could click the slots to compare against, right? Doesn't hit friendlies with water spells, so that's cool. He starts with a weapon, Water Shaper's Focus. Range attacks bounce +1 times with rod attacks. Master Shaper, too expensive. +2 armor rating. 50% of misses converted to grazes with proficient weapons. +1 bluff, +1 diplomacy. So most headgear doesn't actually have stats on it, huh? Alright, this is gonna take a while. I gotta catch him up to my current level. So I've got alchemy with Shoti already. Let's do explosives. I've already got metaphysics with somebody else. I think Shoti had religion. So we could double up on survival. Oh, because he's a godlike, he doesn't get headgear. Fast runner. Increased base stride, I'll take it. Water Shaper. Unique to the Wana, Water Shaper druids possess a special affinity with water. Gains Onder's Whip druid spell. Select Water Shaper spells at 8 power levels. Frost and Water spells cast this way are foe only. Lose access to fire and creature druid spells. Temporarily turn into a shark. Do I have to be in water? I assume that I don't have that opportunity very frequently. It says I gain some spells automatically. Those are just ones that you get. The ones that are already marked, basically, you get because you're a Water Shaper, and then you can pick other ones on top of that. Oh, it's this left column is the one I get automatically. So what is the filled in one coming from? Rejuvenation. Wind elements, cast elements, Tanglefoot, Touch of Rot, Dancing Bolts, Talon's Reach. So I want anything that's frost or water, all in the area of effect. Okay. It makes my choices a little bit easier. Explosives. Survival. It's okay with lightning too. Is that included as a foe only thing? Blizzard. Taste of the Hunt. Oh, just these are foe only? Frost and water spells cast this way are foe only. And sorry, I may have missed this. Some of these spells have a little diamond that's filled in instead of... Is that the action type? Whether it's standard action or cast action? I think that's what it is. Okay. Applying a regenerating effect to nearby allies. Give the armor rating bonus to specific kinds of damage. Lots of lightning spells are foe only anyways. Okay. Style, two-handed style, two-weapon style, wild strike freeze. Automatically inflict additional freeze damage when spirit shifted. Additional corrode damage. I guess I'll attack with lightning and use spells with water or ice. Seems reasonable. Decay. Immediate corrosive damage and then more damage over time to any of the area effect. Let's do the AoE region. So Druid's like an alternate healer class to Priest, I guess. I know, right? It looks like it means I'm done. I tried to click on it multiple times. Fit inspiration is basically increases their health. Start to have a problem with opportunity cost here. But I took Fast Runner already. I must have skipped it before. Weapon proficiency basically doesn't matter. Chill Fog. Blinding white icy fog, inflicting blindness and freeze damage over time in the area of effect. Fortitude, reflex, will, who cares? Combat focus, probably good. Draws on the healing power of nature, imbuing the robust inspiration for a rapid regeneration effect on party members. It seems like that's a strictly better version of Moon's Light. Infestation of maggots, gross. Twin Stones, Returning Storm. Random single enemy in the area. Oh, you can stack them? No, I think they're both. This is cast, this one's standard, right? Oh, they use different resources. Oh, because they're from different spell slots, you mean? One's targeted, one's PBAOE. Hey, this is like an AoE Blessed Harvest, it looks like. Increased deflection and reflex. Seems kind of nice. Zap some random enemies for shock damage, it seems fine. Alright. Boiling Spray. Everyone in the cone area of effect takes burn damage and is pushed back. That's kind of cool to have a water attack that causes burn. Makes sense. Spell Shaping, Heart of the Storm, increased penetration with electricity attacks, fire attacks. Greater Wild Strike Shock. Even more shock damage is dealt. Even more freeze damage is dealt. Seeing a pattern here. Guess I should take a spell this turn. I want to get concentration eventually, I think. The order in which you take spells isn't relevant, right? There's not any de-leveling effect in this game. Overwhelming Wave. Crush and the Stun Affliction. Counters fire. 32 to 43. 32 to 41 and stunned. Just like a bigger range. 5 radius. versus a long line AoE. Okay. Oh, is 5 radius really big? I guess I need to compare it to Aloth ice fireballs to know. Survival. Half the game to get an intuition for it. Increased penetration with frost and water attacks. Seems fair. Don't care about weapon proficiency. Ocean Burst. Watery ball of liquid force that explodes at a targeted location, causing crush damage to all in the area of effect. Toughness. Increase the effectiveness of any healing you cause. You know, it's a direct heal instead of a regen might be kind of nice to have. It looks like this is a pretty decent upfront ability here. So I'll take these guys for now. God, they give you like really good passives all at 5th level. Or in the 5th level spells territory, I should say. Let's do combat focus and rapid casting. Oh, I only get one choice now, don't I? I probably want combat focus. It procs often enough in combat so far. Hey, we caught the character up to the rest of the party. How exciting. Some meters. Let me see what... Oh, wow. Yeah, so the ice ball is 3.5 radius. Thank you for that. Definitely needed that context. Thank you, Big Ed mode. It's okay, you pure lightning. Those druid spells seem pretty good. Kind of like a mixture of a priest and a wizard. The big benefit of the wizard is the grimoires, huh?
No, you said he's got regulations against this sort of place? No?
Can you still cast spells while shapeshifted? Stone door is sealed shut. Ooh. 15 perception. Search for a locking mechanism. Read the inscription. Water runes decorate the stone entrance. Gati would not have gifted her chosen people a watery covenant unless they persisted in deserving it. Aspect of Andra.
I got this.
Push against the door. Punch the door. Until after your party goes quiet. I love that stuff.
I got this.
Easy does it.
Enemy spotted. Naga Archer.
trouble up ahead.
You think? Okay, I don't know if I can time their spells to go up at the same time. It might still be a situation of it's one but not both. No, he gets act first. Interesting. They'll go before they get to go.
Of course.
Punch him.
That's how it's done.
Nice.
Captain. Hmm?
Like first try every time. Bam. Pow.
Yes?
Oh, you guys aggroed from super far away.
These
The
uns are
hell?
in for a walloping.
It's just y'all 2, 3 apparently. Okay.
Kinda stuck over
something.
here.
How about Hailstorm? Holy shit. You were not joking. That's fucking huge. Once you get out of that circle.
Absolutely. Boy.
Do they have some kind of like spell on them that gives them an inspiration whenever they take damage? Something that's just native to Naga, or is it like a spell that's being precast out of combat? Only the left column spells are from me. Okay.
Right.
Wait, really? Oh, he's giving them like positive inspirations?
Captain.
Okay, hold on. Random wild surge effects. So is it usually a bad thing like that? Or does it have a chance to give them a bunch of debuffs or something?
Yes? Lava will be on sick.
He's safe from the red? It's hard to tell.
I shall. Lava room beyond sick.
But it's more obviously safe.
This does not work.
Not great. Nice. God, that attack is awesome.
Why? Lava room beyond sick.
Yes, Captain.
The shark has big head mode. Alright, so he's a bipedal shark man. Got it. So why would I not transform in every battle?
Right
To have me like give me like some stat penalties or something?
I'll teach you a lesson.
maybe it evens out later in the game, but I feel like this game has the classic D&D mage problem, where mages are just insanely strong compared to melee characters.
Consider it right fucked.
Hey. Otherwise, I may as well just transform every battle. Probably not low enough for finishing blow to make sense yet. Should do that more often.
Here we go.
Probably get the main character to tool wield. So we find 2 good weapons later.
Yeah. Show 'em how it's done.
Yes, Captain.
I'm thinking of Star Trek when he says that.
How may I help? What do you need?
Whoops, that was an accident.
For, Captain. Scyorielaphas, me too. Yeah?
You need multiple tanks for some of the encounters on higher difficulties. Okay. Gotcha. So then you end up needing the melee characters to exist so that the caster characters can wreck base. It is like old school D&D. You need a meat shield, a skill monkey, and then God. But eventually God gets to high enough level that God can reproduce the effects of the meat shield and the skill monkey without needing them in the party anymore. Agabo.
Give me a real snakes.
You don't look too great.
Myru. Oh, gods. Look what they've done to you.
Peace to Kehu. I gave back 10 times what I took. Too many, even for me.
I think most of that is Naga blood. You fought well.
Helps when you have something to fight for.
You were too stubborn to die, old shark.
For once, Takehu, just listen. The rod of the deep. Ugh, I've lost it. Taken. You'll need to...
Guess it's not mostly Naga blood.
Find the rod. Get through the stone door by the entrance.
Find the rod, just try and stay with me.
Wards. Failing. Hurry, before it escapes.
You're already gone. Find peace in the beyond.
Pitied Isengati, Lady of Lament, as the pearl orb of the heavens.
She wheezes as she struggles to get the words out. It doesn't sound like she's even addressing you any longer.
Myru? Myru?
Sorry, I would have tried to heal her, but... What?
Ngati. She's dead.
Strange last words. Is that an invitation for lore?
The words of Pariki's devotion.
Haha, it is!
An old prayer to Ngati. It must have meant something to her.
Pillars 3, they need to have a little icon that's like... I mean, I guess that's effectively it in Mass Effect, right? Whenever you click investigate, you're like, this is not going to be consequential to the plot or moving the story forward. I do think that some kind of dialogue wheel like that is... I have to think about it. Is it strictly better than just having a list of options? I guess a list of options gives you all sorts of room for things like skill checks and dialogue options that only exist because of certain backgrounds. I think you can still do that with a dialogue wheel, though.
Akira, the others will see to her once we've cleaned up the last of this mess.
Flourish 2 took 3 years to turn a profit. Wow.
Watching.
Alright, so this quest is technically part of the main quest chain for the Juana. I would have run into Water Shaper Takehu anyway.
The wheel. How it tugs at me. Akira, and how bright you look. At least in death, I can complete a thought. My rod and the words of Pariki's devotion will open the way to the inner sanctum, past the sealed door. Pitied is Ngati, Lady of Lament. As the pearl orb of the heavens crosses her view, her eyes well with tears, as constant as rain. But the moon's skyward journey continues apace, the lover's affection as ephemeral as fingers touching.
That's unfortunate. This game feels like the most complete Obsidian game I've ever played.
You must strengthen the wards, no matter what it tells you.
Thank you. Rest well. Ghost. I'm about to rob this thing too. Oh, trap triggered. Inspect the lingering soul. Actually, attempt to read the plaque verse. Description was purposefully marred. An act of sabotage done perhaps years ago. You suspect
This
Kith
is
hands.
the tomb of Periki. Such disrepair, I say.
Hold her hand. Tiny droplet of water appears at the corner of her eye. Wipe away the tear. Yeah, right, Spiky. It's cool. The stone feels soft to the touch. So we're remembering the death of Periki. Is it a kraken, or is it multiple kraken? Interesting. Okay.
I got this. Got this.
That's a lot of text. Cool though.
Speak your mind. Conflict in the air. I said.
Oh, you're a named NPC. Maybe we can chat instead of fighting each other.
Predator in the water. You have my attention.
Nope. So much for chatting with the named NPC. I wish I had enough starting focus on Seraphim to be able to cast that AoE Dominate Charm. Oh, they've got a red circle. You can never talk to them. Okay, that's good to know. How can you cast spells without saying Latharu Biom Seek or whatever the fuck? Maybe he'll do it once they come out of pause. There it goes. Othek, Worth, and Roth. No!
Every day.
Ahoy.
I haven't been near
What do you need?
having enough money to buy even a single exciting magic item for any characters. I don't know if it gets easier to get money in the late game or what. It hasn't really been an option so far.
Yes, Captain.
The big head shark is... it's a thing. Ship combats generally produce a lot of money. Thought there was another thing over here.
Kinda stuck over here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's worth a lot of money? Okay. Yeah, I kind of felt earlier like I'm never going to be able to buy any of these cool things. Like, oh, that's cool. Costs like $30,000. It's more than I've seen in the entire game so far.
Ahoy.
Another invisible asshole.
At your service.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of gold. Do they have like an inherent ability that just lets them stealth? It's free, I should probably turn it on. I interrupted your spell. Yeah. Non-degenerate, exciting shops.
Yes?
Really, really cool items in all of them. I was feeling the same earlier, but it was like, man, I'm never going to get to actually buy any of these because all the stuff that's cool is so insanely expensive.
My pleasure.
It's good to know that you'll end up having more than enough money to buy everything.
Ahoy. Fare thee well, coke swabber.
Wow, that was pretty great.
Yeah?
One of these combats I'll get to use a level 5 Cypher ability. So maybe if I do a normal attack on the very first turn, it's the pathway to that. Oops. Sorry, Ader. Forgot I was casting. Everything's fine. No one is injured.
Consider it.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually clear how it works with the beam. If the beam still gets to do damage on the turn that the spell goes off. Sends sharply into murky waters. No telling how far in the mountain it goes. Oh, did you step away while I was opening up the new druid? Yeah, it's done. Hey, it just opened. Wait, no, I didn't. Touch the door with the Rod of the Deep Hunter. Study the symbols around the dial. Anglerfish. Hands. Eyeball. Something. Full moon. Andra. Hands. I need to read the questy thingy again. Moon, tears, moon, fingers.
I got this.
Did it say the third symbol was? Could that count as tears? Rain, that's tears. Moon, rain, moon hands. Now if I rotate it, does that mean clockwise? Okay. I had this confusion with Graveyard Keeper recently. Oh wait, I guess not. Press. Oh right, hands, that's right. I thought the moon showed up again. Let me read it again, I'm confused. Moon. Oh, Nagati is the first one. Angler, moon, rain, moon, hands.
Consider it.
Hey, you got it. Cool plus. Bringing of stagnant water and something else, something oval which raises the hairs on the back of your neck. An ear-splitting roar rises in volume and echoes down the passage. Go through anyway. This is fine. Oh god. It's a Dargon! I'm gonna fix its big head in a second.
How in all Aora have they kept it down here?
This would be a
The
great fishing
water
story.
dragon underneath Winterfell.
Galloway's feckin' spear. That there be a right bonny beast and a half.
Have you come to deliver me from this prison of my own making?
me get my bearings first. Who are you?
I am Scyorielaphas, Guardian of the Isles.
You ever consider a nickname? Just give it some thought, is all I'm saying.
Thanks, Satyr.
What is this? One of Andra's whelps?
Hello.
Captain of the Defiant, Ranger. Take it you're the one causing the city to shake.
You do not see chains around me, but I am confined all the same. One by one, every link shatters. You can only be here for one reason. You serve the Huana. This prison is built on a foundation of their lies.
What are you talking about?
You stand in the sanctum of the Water Shapers, those who make parlor tricks of Ngati's art. An art in decline. The Huana Covenant has failed. With each grain of sand surrendered to outsiders, Ngati draws her favor away from her chosen people.
What covenant is that?
One struck in a different time, when the gods showered devotion on Huana. The guild hides how their acolytes struggle. Their ancestral forms no longer respond as they once did. Soon, there will be no Water Shapers to remember them.
What are dragons in this setting? Do they have any supreme significance other than being intelligent and powerful? Like, do they have a role in society? Are they made by the Angwithans, anything like that?
When their mighty talent went into decline, I gave the Huana the strength to raise the very sea against our enemies. For my generosity, they bound me to this chamber by my soul.
This cannot be true, I say.
The half-breed's naivete is charming. I see why you suffer his company.
I like this dragon much more than the one I intimidated earlier.
Now the Deadfire dies in my absence. The luminous Adra shrieks in agony, calling out for a guardian.
You're the reason the Water Shapers are so powerful?
The Huana of ages past could have shaped the very Deadfire to their liking. Now their backs have turned against Ngati's covenant. Their art is an echo of its former glory.
Are they more powerful than the, or are they older than the gods, the dragons?
By Ngati, he speaks true.
Your disgrace, so pure and concentrated.
The other Water Shapers knew nothing about this?
Clever Pariki twisted the forms of her art. Rather than give obeisance to Ngati, they draw from the wards of this prison. None but the masters of the guild ever knew this.
Mother, Ngati never told me this, I say.
The goddess sent her insufferable tests.
Do you like getting a party member themed dungeon as soon as you recruit them?
From this prison.
See the gods trumping them, but I'm just wondering if they're like a natural being or if they were created. Create the dragon's soul.
You are a watcher. Of all the kith who could have entered this chamber, how intriguing.
Yes, much like Spock and his mind meld, or Deanna Troi and her Betazoid powers, it's very useful for expositive purposes. Perusing the stacks of a vast library. The energy and vibrancy that color his soul is gray and worn. That's a cool way to phrase it. The boards around the stone floor drag the essence down and disperse its energy elsewhere. The weight of the prison is like an anchor. Looked into your soul, it's true.
Believe what you will. My duty to the archipelago is all that matters.
Are chromatic versus metallic dragons a thing at all?
Comes like the
Or each dragon has its own
and the Deadfire heeds my
loyalties and objectives?
I sense a rod among your belongings.
That's what she said.
My gift to Periki. My covenant with the Huana. It made the enchantments of this prison and can destroy them. It can set me free.
Considered as an Andra dragon. Okay.
We have a responsibility, I say. But if he speaks truth, the Huana are better served if he remains.
Your opinion is irrelevant, half-breed.
Arcana. What happens to your captors if I do as you ask?
The Huana have chartered their doom. I will not mourn their passing. Neither will I speed it along while they stand against the foreign tide.
You have to deprive the water shapers of a useful asset.
The Huana will struggle. If they are worthy, they will endure. Those who are wise will remember their covenant with ancient Ngati.
There has to be another way.
Is your loyalty to a queen of lies so steadfast? She may not know of me, but she is complicit in this crime all the same. You owe her nothing.
I have questions about you first.
I will tolerate your curiosity.
Ooh. Metaphysics plus history or history? What if we excise the imprisoned portion of your soul from the rest?
No. My soul is not for the taking. Not by you, or any of the outsider spirit thieves.
Diplomacy can be done without harming you. I just need to inspect the words. Bluff if you're afraid, just say so. Inside, no one's taking your soul, we're just letting most of you free. Isn't that what you want?
How then? You have a plan for this mad scheme of yours?
Take a closer look at the word stones for a start.
Very well. I give you one chance.
So, okay. Is what we're proposing here to... It's not clear to me how souls work still in this setting. Like, an entity has a soul, and you can think of their soul not as a binary feature of them. It's not you have 0 or 1 souls. It's that you have, like, a certain amount of soul energy, and that soul energy could be redirected in different ways. So you could, like, take 80% of this dragon's soul and let it go, and I guess rejoin the wheel and reincarnate or something. And that's the important part. Like, his actual physical body that's being trapped down here is less important.
Time has weakened the wards enough that I can leave this cell without you. There will be a debt of pain that I have no wish to incur. Betray me, and I will summon as many waves of Naga as it takes to shatter this prison.
Fair enough. Let me see if I'm allowed to fix the big head mode really quick. It's a little late after all that. Soul is connected to the prison with a chain, and we can't cut the chain, so we cut off the bit of the soul that's tied to it. Oh, we're just finding another way to let him go. Hey! I don't know, he was pretty intimidating with the giant head. I wonder if his head also, if I can turn big head mode back on. Oh, nope. One way. Okay. Inspect the word stone. Ooh, metaphysics. Merely sips the dragon's essence and disperses it elsewhere. Used to store the essence, enough to last decades or longer if used responsibly. Sounds like this is the let everybody wins option, right? Someone built the prison to resist meddling. So they're all basically the same. Would that be possible if I had a higher metaphysics stat, maybe? I don't think that that's a thing that I can boost. Because I'm already getting 10 from Aloth. Or I'm getting half of that, I guess. Can I just leave and come back whenever?
Give me a real challenge.
I can't. Leaving resolves the quest.
I make no promises to cooperate with your animancy games.
Alright, I'll just do the one where not everyone wins, because my stats are like 1 point too low. Ah, it kills me though. Can I just select Aloth and have him do it? Might be more than 1 point. Okay. Disable the enchantments.
I can feel the weight of this pit diminishing around me. Do not stop now.
I'm getting to it.
Ward, make haste.
Oh, it needs like 16? Okay. You had put points into it in your playthrough then, sir? So you got payoff here, right? Like how I got payoff for Intimidate on the other dragon. You should consider showing mercy against those who wronged you.
Mercy. Only for those who showed mercy to me. The rest. Should your hopes darken on the high seas, you will feel a welcome chill as my shadow passes over your deck. Depend on it.
This was a good idea. Beats his wings, lifting his massive form above the ground of his watery prison. Stretches open his jaws and roars, the ensuing blast blowing out the top of the prison. Snaps his wings a second time, flying through the exit. Hear an explosion of splintered wood, upheaved water, and incredible devastation on the southwestern corner of the island. Yay!
Of course.
Reason to be happy with me.
Captain, a word.
What's on your mind?
When I joined the guild, I was a fish in a dream. Water Shapers were the keepers of our oldest covenant, protectors of history, heroes, I say. Now I see the guild only for what it has become. Ikera, a perversion of the oldest Juana art.
They shouldn't have been stealing their magic from a dragon. That's mean. It would be funny if it like completely nerfed Takehu and made him a useless character for the rest of the game. I lied to you. You're a faith character, so your arc is doubting your faith. This is a game that's all about that. Guild might need a new way forward if it hopes to endure.
If the guild cannot depend on its own teachings, then difficult times lie ahead of us all. I do not want to tarry in this house of regret a moment longer. My thoughts will be clearer in time. You are kind to listen, I say.
Other
you
questions?
Have questions? Ikera, I have answers.
Let's be off for now. We gotta kill God.
Onikaza will want your report, I say. Pariki should have known we could not keep a dragon forever.
Oh, I guess the word's gotten out. Very good. Let's go disappoint the queen. She'll be very sad.
I worry about you, Adair. There'd be a thing of free out here that you shouldn't be aiming at pets.
It's fine.
It was dark. I only saw the back of your head. Thought you were some huge island.
No, I mean that the water shapers seem to know. I was under the impression that most of them didn't know that they were, like, stealing the dragon's power. That's what was surprising. What's up? Sorry?
Every corner of the Deadfire babbles of the devastation from Magrin's teeth.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. I can talk to all day about that one.
This marches on Ukaizo while I juggle armloads of enemies. This is no coincidence. Nagati is testing me, I say.
Do you think you're equal to the challenge?
If I am not, then Nagati will close her jaws around me. I will live to taunt her and keep my people safe.
Nice.
If you have spent any time in the Deadfire at all, the myth of lost Ukaizo can be no mystery.
So it's like if you were both an island sea orc and a Deadfire archipelago resident, then you would get custom dialogue here. That's cool. 8 history. Oh shoot, close to that. Epic romanticized Ukaizo, but speculated that it would be found again.
Ikera, they say that anyone who saw Ukaizo would suffer to be apart from it. They say the beaches of Ukaizo spanned impossible
Yeah, that's what I was about to
horizons,
say. I only
and
know
its
about it.
towers graced the light of
Yeah, I'm
distant
guessing
stars.
the history option may have been almost the same thing or close to it.
At night, I even... but it is nothing.
Have you been dreaming of Ukaizo? It's like you need an insight of 7 to guess that she was talking about dreaming.
Ikera, since I was a child, when I close my eyes, I stand before the gates of Ukaizo. There are always 3. For what would there be 3 gates?
3 gates. Clearly a question she's asked herself many times before.
I do not say I am meant to go, but the gods. They want the Huana to return and reclaim what we lost.
They're good at setting up this place as a place you're excited to go to. I feel like not every story needs this, but these like epic RPGs. Mass Effect 1 and 2 both have one where you're like, okay, you gotta get through the Omega 4 relay, okay, you gotta go to this lost Prothean planet. Like, it's cool to let you build up in your mind what you think it's gonna be before you go there, right? And not every story has a final destination that they set up that early in the plot for you to get excited about. I don't really feel like there was one in Pillars 1. It ends, it ends with the encounter with Theos, and it's in this big hang within ruin, but is it something they set up the whole time? Hey, thanks for the follow, Flower Garden.
For what do the tribes not fight each other? For what are we united if not to take back lost Ukaizo? Under Wodika's gaze do we keep order. Atop Nagati's seas are we tested. From Ukuhu's bowels do we carry wisdom back to the tribe.
Not as much as Ukaizo. Yeah. I think that's one of my favorite storytelling techniques is setting up a mysterious place and letting you marinate on it for a few hours.
You sure that's wisdom?
Revelation comes from unlikely places, soldier. I say you should have learned this on the battlefield. The gods want this for us, I say. We have come this far to restore order and earn back our empire. So, Watcher, do we unite and sail for Ukaizo?
Oh, have I basically finished her quest chain then? I guess I must have skipped her being mad about the dragon because I had already completed the main quest, so it jumped right to the Ukaizo stuff. Not yet ready to commit to this.
I hope we don't stand around wasting each other's time.
For what do you do this?
Your captain needs a nudge towards reason, I say. Busy yourself making up your mind. I will make preparations to launch an advance force. With or without you. What madness has its clutches around Pariki's overlook? The mountain shakes.
There she goes.
Bellows of anguish echo over the wind.
Sorry, you still wanna go to Kaizo with me? Event flag hype.
And a shadow rose from the streets to cover Queen's Birth on its way to the sea. Now the traders look to me for answers I do not have.
Sorry.
Nothing but panic and contradiction make their way to my ears. Tell me what happened.
The guild had a sizable infestation in the basement. Water Shapers Guild is a mess on account of some snakes and a dragon.
You do not jest.
About many things, Highness. Not this, I say.
Takehu folds his arms and closes his eyes. Something about the gesture causes Onikaza to hold her attention on him.
For what did the guild endanger my city with this creature? I will hear Myru's report.
Scyorielaphas agreed to lend the Water Shapers his strength to protect the archipelago.
Kahanga legends tell us that our ancestors made compacts with the creatures of the Deadfire. Send for Ranga Hauhua of the Wapua tribe. If she could soften the hearts of my cats, I say dragons are not beyond her.
Ikera, but I cannot believe... Highness, would you trap another of Ngati's ancient pets?
I would go any distance to protect my people. Can Nagati's chosen say the same? Speak on, Watcher. As surely as a tide swelling over the shore, I feel you are not finished.
Metaphysics. The forms of water shaping are fabrications made to tap into the dragon's prison. Hey, Flower Garden. If you would like to vote for a game, if you click on the About tab and click on Games or Vote, there's a list of chat commands you can type. If you have enough of those SP, so you've got 42 right now, you can vote for any games on that list by typing those commands in chat. And when one of those games wins the vote, we'll play it next. There's actually a vote deadline tomorrow morning. 11 hours from now.
Then Pariki's students had an advantage in their lessons, I say, and Myru's after her, all at the cost of this beast's freedom.
Yeah, thanks for the follow. Welcome.
If water shaping is not as our ancestors taught it, we cannot reckon how much of the original form we have lost.
Now, is her ability to speak to me telepathically a thing that only does she have like a class that lets her do that?
What became of the dragon, Watcher? If the power of this beast strengthened our guild.
I set him free. Nothing in her outward bearing changes, but the silence of the rooftop garden feels especially oppressive. You notice the scratching sound of her nails in the armrest of her chair. Oh, ciphers do that, so she must have similar powers. Is are ciphers, is that a class that you're born into with the talent for that, or is it something you can learn?
No,
The Watchers are something that you're born
close
into,
her
right?
teeth around your boat and Wodika scrawl your name in her log of disgrace.
Aristocrat. I haven't gotten to use this like ever. That's right. I made such a stupid character in this game. The aristocratic corpse-eating barbarian. It is a poor ruler who doesn't recognize what is under her feet.
How dare you?
She sits back on her throne to the gasp of her attendants, all of whom give up any pretense of ignoring your
If
exchange.
my apprentices struggle to learn Nagati's art, then we have no hope of replenishing the ranks. And I do not have the luxury of patience. I cannot keep Rawatai in check if they do not recognize our strength.
10 diplomacy.
The guild can outlast this, but our enemies will test us beyond what we can endure.
I didn't set out to damage the Juana cause, Highness.
Then you are nothing but a fish puppet Ngati sent to trick us with cheap lures of hope.
Idiom department paying the bills now.
Even in desperate times, this falls beneath the expectations of the Kahanga crown. You may see yourself out.
Would you simply hand an ally to your competitors?
Wait. Water Shapers have kept this city in the hands of the Kahanga. A queen cannot do this alone. You may work off your debt to the crown. I will swallow my pride if it keeps an ally under my roof.
Just kidding, I quit. Thank you for the second chance, Highness. I'll just say nothing.
Akira, perhaps you are wise to hold your tongue. My water-shaping masters will arrive soon, and I say the guild will be stronger for their guidance. But a queen's work is not finished until she has endured all of Nagati's trials. The Huana are strong, but our foes are stronger, richer.
So I wonder if I could have gotten away with it if I had the high diplomacy.
The gods have delivered us an advantage we sorely need. It is beyond time that we rid ourselves of the trading companies. My tribes know how to help each other in a storm. Today is no different. It used to be that the strength of the trading companies grew by the lengths of an eel's belly. Now they grow fast and unchecked, feeding off all they find. It is my responsibility to defang the serpent before it bites down on my neck, and I need all the help I can get. My guards apprehended a Valian agent prowling in the shadows of the Brass Citadel. By his own admission, he was there to blow up Rawatai's black powder stores.
Hey, thanks for all the explosives points, Takehu. Are you gonna blow something up?
You wish for me to spoil the surprise? Akira, very well.
Is this the final quest for her then, since she had already offered for me to go to Ukaizo with her?
Pick up where the Valian agent left off.
Not exactly subtle.
Now you hesitate? After the powder house is destroyed, our prisoner's testimony will point the way to Director Castor. You must not fail me. You will have
Oh, did I commit by accident?
powder stores east of the Brass Citadel docks. I leave it to you to live by the sword or walk by the shadows. Here, the agent's exclusive. While you think if the crown has not earned your loyalty, then we have failed. Give us this chance to succeed. Do this great thing.
Yeah, all I ended up doing, I think they added custom dialogue because I pissed her off in the middle of the Ukaizo thing. And I just said a thing like, can I make it up to you? But I guess somewhere in there where I said nothing that I committed. Let me make a new save slot here just in case. Googling it. I can try to Google it really quick. To Katana. Coming storm. What is the point of no return for each faction? having this quest cause a bounty NPC to disappear, so I don't know if I would trust it. Maybe I can just not tell her about the dragon, although maybe turning in the dragon quests. You have lost reputation with Juana, Major. Yeah, I could see how the other one was obviously committing, but I think that that weird corner case made it less obvious, especially since I said,
What madness has and a shadow? Now the traitor, nothing but panic and contradiction make their way to my ears. Tell me what you do not.
About me?
For what did the guild endanger my Kahung send?
Be careful.
I will speak on, Watcher. Then if what became of the dragon, Watcher? If the power of this... No, I say. Nagati close her teeth around your boat and Wodika scrawl
I
your
feel like picking this
name
as just being an
in her
asshole if I say the aristocrat thing.
How? If I cannot keep Rawatai in check if they do not recognize our strength. The
We
guild
go
can
from
out
here.
even in desperate times. This falls beneath the expectations of the Kahanga crown.
I wish I could have done more for the Juana.
Wait. Water Shapers have kept this. You may work off your debt to the crown. I will swallow my pride if it keeps an ally under my roof.
I didn't give her an option of have a just kidding.
Akira, perhaps you are
okay.
wise.
I like having the option of just taking the Juana out, but I think I need to talk to her to finish this quest, unfortunately. I guess I could lie to her. It's not really been my style this playthrough.
Now that nothing but panic and you do
About
for what did the guild endanger Parika send? I would speak on, Watcher. Then if what became of the dragon, Watcher? For what are you lying to me? Forgive me. No.
Or she catches you in the lie.
Nagati close her teeth around your boat. A favor? If my apprentices struggle to... I cannot keep Rawatai
I need to have 10 diplomacy for this to be possible.
The guild can outlast this, but our enemies will test us beyond what we can endure. Go then, even in desperate times.
Alright, so what I can do, since I know I need 10 diplomacy, I can hold off turning in this quest and getting the XP for it until I get up to that point. I don't remember if Shoti... Can I see my party members' stuff without them actually being with me? No, it doesn't look like it. I don't remember if Shoti or... Oh, you know, I guess I never leveled up the new character, Pirate, that just joined my ship. I forget her name. I could just level her up and just dump all her points into diplomacy. I think it gets her up to 10 would be the maximum I could reach. And then I have 3, so I need to get a couple more levels, and then maybe I'd get away with it. And I assume diplomacy's not something that I can check. Cheese. I think I have items that affect diplomacy, actually. But the search doesn't work in that case. History, insight, metaphysics, deflection, reflex. We just have to Google what it's called and try to make one. Sleight of hand, stealth, oil of allure, +2 diplomacy. Okay, so that gets me to 5, and then Maya with 5 will get me there. Let's do it. It's insanely cheesy. They give you half of their points. So if I can get her to 10, and I have 3 naturally +2 from this potion, it should get me to exactly what I need.
So the crown granted your master an audience.
You must gather your
How
party
did it
before
go?
venturing forth.
Kira, it went...
Does every district have an inn in it? Don't think so. +2 diplomacy.
My friend, you return. If you
I think I'll be good without having to do that, but I'll check.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
Oh, it's a weird specific table. I've been getting +5 from party members whenever they have 10. Or 11, it looks like. She starts with 2. Perfect. That was my one concern, is she didn't start with a high enough value in that stat, then I'd be in trouble. I think I can get there just barely, because my other characters have been able to grant that. Marked Prey. Ranger Animal Companion accuracy bonus against that target. Wounding shot. Resilient. Sneak attack damage. How does sneak attack damage work? You don't have to be stealthed? Works if they're flanked? Healing effectiveness and unarmed attacks. Stride bonus. Plus 15% damage, +2 penetration. Cheesy respecking your main character for every ability check. I didn't even think about that. Is it that cheap to respec? I assumed it was more expensive than that. I feel like plus 15% damage all the time is better than sneak attack damage some of the time. But I can make things weak against sneak attack pretty easily. I can only take one of these, right? Clicking 25 other things. Heal your animal companion. Instruct the animal companion to rush a target. I gain +1 engagement. Range weapons used on distant targets. That's a unique ranger ability. This is a free action, right? Oh, it's not free? Lame. That's free, but it costs a bond. So it costs a bond. I guess I can have both of these. Let's just do both then. I thought it was a one to the other type situation. Improved armor rating against all damage types. Alright, so she starts with a firearm. We get her a warbow. There's marked prey. Prey is killed, the mark will jump to a nearby enemy. Oh, that's cool. Ranger shot hobbles the target. Aim becomes far more accurate. I like accuracy in this game. Revive their companion with a small amount of health. Oh, she has a firearm reload time bonus, I see. So I should probably stick with that. Heightens the predatory instincts of the animal companion, giving them a damage bonus on any creature suffering a damage over time effect, which I don't really have right now. Significant bonus to area of effect attacks, which you kind of need for pet classes. More bonus defense. Ranger gains an accuracy bonus when fighting any enemy threatened by the animal companion. Seems pretty good. What is her companion? bird. Oh yeah, that fights. I was wondering where that parrot was coming from in the ship combats. I thought maybe it was one of the crew members. Hunter's Claw. Strikes in melee. Nope. Concussive Shot. Targets enemy's head, interrupting them. I guess having a targeted interrupt seems pretty good. Stalker's Link. Defense against disengagement. Additional defense on AoE. Start going for this buff, I guess. Threatened by isn't the same as engaged with, right? Claw. Here we go. Binding Roots. Call the ranger's animal companion to their side, granting them the companion a nimble inspiration. It's from 100% stride. Ooh. Alright, well, evasive roll is more interesting when it's a free attack. Any luck? Driving flight. Mild AoE damage. There's my plus 11 diplomacy. Alright, perfect. Let's get out of here. Oh, thanks, Serp. Yeah, what Serp is saying. Also, one of the things that you can redeem with those spheres is called a welcome package. It's way cheaper than the spheres to SP conversion usually is. So if you redeem that, that'll give you enough points to vote for any game on that list. The vote costs are variable based on how long the game is, so a really long game like Persona 5 will cost way more SP than a short game. Rooftop. So I think I can just barely do this. Yeah, the SP are currency in my bot. The spheres, the currency in the chat, are the one that Twitch offers, so I set up a way to convert them. That's a little confusing, but right now Twitch's currency isn't fully featured enough to set up like a voting system, so that's the best thing I could come up with for now. Alright, I need to use one of these potions, Oil of Allure.
Yeah?
Sure. Let's try this now. She's gonna be super pissed off, but everything's gonna be fine this time. Because I covered myself with ooze.
What madness has its clutches around Pariki's overlook? The mountain shakes. Bellows of anguish echo over the wind.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of awesome games that we're looking to play eventually. All those games, whenever they win, we'll play them, and then if they don't win the next vote, the other ones keep their position in the list, so they get closer to winning. And then the games list on the left are the ones we've already played, so there's YouTube playlists for all of those, in case you're interested in seeing that kind of content.
A shadow rose from the streets to cover Queen's Birth on its way to the sea. Now the traders look to me for answers I do not have. Nothing but panic, and you do not. So for what
did
did
this
the guild
last
endanger
time.
my city with this? Kahang, sen speak on what? Then if what became of the dragon?
I set him
no,
free.
No, I say. How? If I cannot keep Rawatai in check if they do not recognize our strength.
You can't afford to lose friends.
You think I do not know this?
She seems pissed.
An ally of the crown would do anything.
No,
to
I need 17 total.
To see that the Huana prosper, I say.
Ugh. Now, okay. It's maybe still possible. Just let me think about it. What a good use of time. Find that party assist bonus. I have more oil that I can rub on everybody's bodies. Oh, there's summed skill, so I wouldn't get another +1 until I got all the way up to 16. And now I need to respec my main character. That's unfortunate that it's a nested diplomacy check. I think the only way it's feasible at all is through respecking, right? No temporary stat buff is going to get me there. How do skill buffs from resources like oceans stack, or do they stack at all? I guess, let me think about this. I guess I can delay turning in this quest until all the other ones are done, and if I make a decision, hey, I actually want to back the Juana, then I can still do it. And if I decide not to back the Juana, then I would just turn it in and tell her to fuck off, basically. Jeez. Let's see, I have a list of things. Buffets, maybe. I'm assuming that those don't, different sources of those don't stack. Let's see. Let's do... Let's test it and see if it does work. Ooh, Ori and the Will-o'-the-Wisps. I'm excited to play that game. It's pretty cheap to vote for it too, and there's a couple people going for it. Just confirm that that's not, in fact, stacking. No, you only get one. Okay. We'll have to come back way later then, and then let her down. I think, is there an autosave for me coming up in this? Just so I don't burn the diplomacy thing unnecessarily. Have you played MLB Power Pros before, Flower? That game is... I played the first one. A viewer put it on the voting system a while ago. Or Subblock or something. And I was not expecting there to be a Persona-style visual novel MLB game. I feel like they got the rights from the Baseball League, and they never did a check to see what kind of game they're making. Like, yeah, that's fine. You can use our teams and players and shit. Baseball JRPG. How did that happen? I guess there's already a basketball JRPG, so it works. Alright, Juana's at the end then. I could do Principi. We said that there's another character for me to recruit that's down in the Queen's Birth, right?
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
I'm just sad we're never gonna get Barkley too.
Captain, a moment? I've got a job needs handling.
"17" is one of the biggest skill checks in the game.
I should come clean about something, Captain.
Speak your mind.
Atsura didn't set me loose just so I could stay busy. Fact of the matter is, he gave me a job to do. I've got this stack of missives I need to deliver. Noble errand, right? The company has a lot of people working away from headquarters, and Atsura trusted me to get these in the right hands.
Aren't you a little overqualified for courier work?
Watch out, Ishi. We've got a charmer on our hands.
That's me.
That's the thing about Atsura. He keeps so many irons in the fire at once that everything seems like a high priority.
What's in the missives?
A bit of everything. Shipping manifests, requisitions for supplies, work orders. Mostly work orders. You wouldn't believe how much paperwork it takes to run a navy.
I ran a grand estate for a time. I have an idea.
Ah, yes. Making good with the locals, paying off bounties. Maybe Aethys did you a favor when he stepped on Cadnua.
Sort of.
I didn't actually mean that.
Anything else I should know about this job of yours? Reaching back to tighten her bun. Considers my question.
Personally, if I'm vague on some of the details. Atsura likes his discretion, even when it comes to boring bureaucratic stuff.
As long as it's nothing I should worry about.
The second that I need you to worry, you'll know.
Thanks. Pew pew. I love that she voiced that she closes one eye and makes a friendly trigger-pulling motion at you. That actually makes me wonder if the voice actors got the narrative text as voice direction or not.
This one's bound for Harama, an acquaintance, good sailor. He's somewhere off in Tikawara.
Okay, that's fair.
And these are for Tuaha, an old friend stationed in Port Maje.
Let's be off. Fashion, shipwrights, hunting and sundries, Luminous Andra Mill, the Wild Mare. Here we go. Yeah, this is the building that I snuck in through the toilet for no reason.
Where is my postinago of a
Didn't realize I didn't have the whole party selected.
Have you seen Lago Bada?
You must gather your party, something, something.
Ado, Watcher. The Cantanichesi sent for me. It seems the Republics have need of me again, thanks to you.
She's a party member in the first game, right?
Do you have need of me?
I will always have need of you. Why would I want a failure who got kicked out of her paladin order? Jeez.
Good.
Oh, that was easy. Keep her as a paladin, that's fine. Yeah, also, she had a chance to join me earlier. Oh, there's small dialogue portrait. Okay, so that's all of the major side characters. I can now get back to the faction quests. Let me make some notes for myself here. Juana's done, but would need to boost diplomacy to 17 somehow. Or would need to fuck over other factions. Is the Juana one like a short quest chain on purpose, just to make sure that you have a way to get to the end game right away once you unlock that ability? Valiant Trading Company terms of trade. Track down the original exposition to Poko Kahara. Complete their assignment. Sail to Tikawara. Speak to Atsura and the Brass Citadel. Speak with Captain Ildis at Fort Deadlights. I assume that this one is the one that's like the quest chain. Yeah, I guess maybe the one with the Archmage's house was one. I talked to the Queen's brother, but I didn't do his quest for him. So I wonder if it would why they accelerated it like that.
You must gather your party.
The idea of the ranger companion is just a violent parrot. It's not connected to any factions, I see. She is in this room, right? What's our office and Imperial Command? That's not in the main office. This is the Hazanui. Unless it's on a higher floor. Or a lower floor. Downstairs, gotcha.
Watch and learn.
Oh, but the pirates are clear on when you commit. When do you commit with the pirates? Is there like a specific quest name I should be worried about?
They weren't that bad.
Atsura.
Rhyming Hazanui with Kablooey? I see you received my message. This is good, because I have a matter of no small importance to discuss. A great injustice plagues the archipelago, and we have an opportunity to end it. A thriving slave trade disrupts the Deadfire. I've determined that it's being run from the island known as Crookspur.
It's the Royal Deadfire Company's interest in slavers.
Getting rid of them.
Oh, that's good.
Slavers sow chaos wherever they ply their unsavory business. They uproot communities, disrupt trade, and attract the vilest criminals.
Aye, they be ugly too. And smell like half-drowned bilge rat. Cheated dice, never write their mothers. Be easier to mention what they do right. Like dying when you stab or shoot them.
Unfortunately, they've been allowed to operate here for years.
What do you mean by allowed?
Why, if the Juana had marshaled their forces, the slaver problem never would have reached this extent.
It's an interesting way to not... Like, it seems like the obvious choice to make the Royal Deadfire Company the over-the-top bad guys, like the evil faction. But everyone kind of sucks a little bit.
That it has is a failure we must lay at the feet of the Kahanga royals.
Dance with Death. Okay, hold on. Thanks. How do you figure that?
Allow me to illustrate. 2,000 years ago, our people began the conquest of Rawatai. The land was new to us. Many of its inhabitants were better equipped.
The fact that they're making the faction choice actually somewhat tricky. I guess the pirate one seems a little obvious, but maybe I'll learn more about the pirates.
But we overcame them. We were unified where they were scattered. And we were not content to huddle in cliff caves and subsist. We were determined to make a better life for ourselves.
Have to be warriors to deserve happiness.
It is not about deserving. There is no pity in a storm, or a famine, or a slave raid. There are only victims and survivors. I am merely pointing out that it is difficult for fragmented, transient tribes to maintain control over their territory.
Well, that is kind of a dickish thing
Is
to
it
say.
not noble and just to end this scourge, especially if the Huana cannot? We must end the slaver threat.
Just to be clear, I'm going to get rid of the slavers while you sit here. You're not doing this out of the goodness of your heart. What's your angle?
Rawatai has interests in a stable Deadfire, and in earning the favor of our Huana brethren. The slavers threaten both goals.
That's fair.
Go to the slaver outpost on Crookspur and kill Master Kua, the ringleader. His associates should scatter. As much as I would like to send our forces to fight the good fight alongside you, I'm afraid that would only cause trouble in other quarters. Especially since some of the slavers operate legally and with the blessing of certain Valian officials.
Be that funny way officials have when silver wafts neath their noses.
However, I have it on good authority that the slavers have made enemies of the Wahaki. They may be willing to help you. If they don't take your head off first. The Wahaki congregate on an island called Ori Okoiki. It means cursed land of corpses.
Wonderful.
They are suspicious of outsiders, so approach them with caution, if at all. What's important is that you rid us of the slavers on Crookspur.
Do this, I do it my way. I know a thing or two about infiltration.
I'm counting on that.
You seem different from the rest of the Royal Deadfire Company.
How do you mean that?
Come on, you know exactly what I mean.
Are you making advances at me?
I love that. Yes, lie, yes. No, lie, no. This is one of my favorite dialogue prompts in all of Pillars of Eternity. No.
It's for the best. This would be a most inconvenient time to begin an attachment. How do you
seem
mean
different. You're hard to read.
It comes from years of practice. It's the only way I've learned to beat Karanui at Hazatoa.
Nui just shorting. Oh, it means big. Oh, to indicate respect or admiration. So kind of like a suffix, honorific suffix. That's cool. And it's Hazanui. So does Hazanui just mean like big general or something? That's great.
I can't think of anything else that goes with Hazanu.
I forgot. I saw some thread that was complaining about Elvish or Black speech or something from Lord of the Rings. It was like all of Tolkien's names translate to really stupid things, like, you know, Mordor just means dark land, and it's like, Yeah, that's how language works. Like, the Grand Canyon. What do you think most names of places translate to?
Will your mighty fortress protect you from the
Still insist that as much as I like Tolkien, Silmarillion, and Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings, that Tolkien was a linguist that wanted an excuse to use his cool languages that he made up. I think he was a pretty good author on top of that. Alright, I'm gonna get out to my boat and I'm gonna leave my future self some notes here.
Before venturing forth.
Hey, we made it without a random encounter. Alright, future Marstead. First of all, check your desktop for a file called pillars2.txt. Summarizes the current roadmap for beating this game. Technically, you could beat it at any time, but this was a main plus extra game, and it's a fun game, so we should do a good chunk of the side quests. We're currently working on the faction quest chains. The Iguana quest chain is basically done. Pirates hasn't started yet. You gotta go talk to the pirate captain lady when you get to the quest called the Dance with Deaths. That's kind of after finishing that quest, you have to be super careful because then you're on the point of no return to committing to going out with the pirates. You just started a quest with the Royal Deadfire Company. It's this one here, clearing out Crookspur. I would recommend doing that one first. Finish out the Royal Deadfire Company's quests, then do the pirate quests, then do the Villian Trading Company quests. Then you're kind of in the end game. Before you commit to any of them, go do other random side quests that look interesting, recruit the other minor side characters, ask chat if there's anything that's particularly cool that we should be checking out. Maybe try to do some bounties to get money, because it would be great to actually have some good gear and buy some things from the many shops in the game. So think about doing that. Thanks, folks, for hanging out. I'll let you guys know what's coming up here.